Gonna do the thing, and the light is on. All right, folks. Hey, guys, what's going on? Everybody out there, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between, and whatever you may identify as on this internet stuff and things. Welcome to Late Night Madness, episode 6, and I'm still in my ear. Yep, doesn't fail. Doesn't because that won't let you do the thing in the before. Wait, I already popped out the chat. Never mind. I reopened the thing because I invited Maddie. But
clickbait again. Clickbait again. Yeah. Nice picture, Means.
Oh, well, you're welcome. It was the latest thing you posted when you're like, oh, feel free to grab a photo. But
don't worry about any echoing or anything. Because when I first tried to get used to working using what was it called, Audio Banana, the worst thing you could ever hear is speaking into your microphone and listening to yourself in the headset.
Oh.
Especially when you're conditioned to shut up so you don't interrupt people. Yeah. So I sounded like a total retard on my first stream using Audio Banana.
No. We prefer it
mentally stunted?
No, listeningly awkwardly. I made up some words there. I wish I could have said some other things, but and welcome Biden Touch, as well as Chelsea Lynn. Welcome to Late Night Madness, episode 6. What's going to happen? I have no idea. We're here and we're going to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Totally.
Well.
Oh.
I am here.
Both of us up here, so you're in trouble, Memes.
Well, by the way, I'm here with my lovely co-host, Miss Laura. Say hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Okay, and I'm here with Maddie as well from so many channels I can't even keep track of.
Hey, right now it's Maddie, the House of Geek, because the actual main channel is being screwed by YouTube and Google right now.
Oh, God.
What happened?
First, it started last year in April sometime when somebody reported my channel now, for those of you that know me, you're going to laugh your ass off, for sexually explicit and pornographic content.
Oh.
When I repealed, they said it was an error and they would fix it, and they never fixed it. Recently, I went back on to my main channel and realized they had erased my avatar from my main channel, and when I went back to update it, they would not allow me to update it, giving me an error and telling me to try back later.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
They removed your avatar.
Mm-hmm. You know the little cute little girl in the teacup that everybody was used to seeing on live streams and stuff that I'd pop in on? That was my main channel's avatar.
Right.
So I switched to my main channel from my geek channel and saw that it was that blue background thing with the cross looking thing. So I decided, okay, let me update it and do that again. So I updated it and got I'm sorry, we're not able to update your channel at this time. Try again later. So I tried this 3 times in the same week, 3 different days, the same freaking error.
So the only way I could think if they were reporting your avatar for sexually explicit content, they must have thought it was a teacup swimming lolicon of some sort.
It's just a head coming out of a teacup. A coffee cup, actually, because, everybody that knows me loves my love of coffee and caffeine.
They would point that out because that'd be something necessary, because if somebody's making a mistake, you want to point out what their mistake is so they can correct that. Because otherwise, then you would be being, suspicious of some types.
Yeah, well, see, I reasoned and I argued with them. This was when Google Plus was still a thing. And when they weren't getting back to me and they weren't earnestly fixing my problem, I said, okay, let me wait until Google Plus is no more. Maybe it'll straighten out. It didn't straighten out. So my main MWM Media channel is screwed. Which means I can't link to Nightbot, Streamlabs, or anything like that can automatically post in a live chat channel.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
Big time.
All right. Well, on a happier note, Laura was recently monetized.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah. Thank you. About 5 days ago.
No, she just hit her hours and everything, and she's a mad woman. Oh, see what I did there? See what I did there? Oh, she did like 24-hour streams and stuff. She actually did it. Other folks we know have tried.
Awake
Many of
all
them
the way
fail.
through. No. I'm looking forward to doing a 48 one next.
Oh. Well,
I'm
aren't
gonna do it.
you
I'm trying.
fancy?
Anyway, I'm gonna try.
But all right, so we are at Late Night Madness. So what else have we got going on? So Miss Laura, you did a live stream earlier. I believe I missed that one.
Yeah, it was gonna be a 1 hour hangover hour, and I ended up
Mm.
being on there for like 8 or 9 hours.
Wow.
I popped in, and then I went to go grab some food and do some things and make a video, and then I logged onto Twitter, and then I saw you had messaged me at 11 o'clock in the morning saying you were live, and then I premiered my video. So these things happen. Obviously, we are not entertaining to the people right now because basically everyone is abandoning us. Oh God, we need more blatant clickbait and banter. Hey, tell your friends, tell your wife, tell your husband.
Well, for a
Don't tell your kids. Don't tell your kids unless they're over 18 because no. As we know,
Biden.
we are not made for children. See, we have the
Exactly.
banner and everything. It's very important.
right.
Be-
That's what
Uh,
I'm on here.
Papa.
Over 18s only.
Right.
Oh,
I do have an announcement for my channel for tomorrow, though.
Oh.
My geek channel. Yes.
Oh, shameless plug. Go on, girl.
I finally decided to take the dive, and if any of you guys know who Nikocado Avocado is, motherfucker has pretty much taken my most favorite food because I'm Cuban. That's a thing. And put it as his last name. Yes, I'm doing part 1 to a response to his "I'm Not Sorry" video tomorrow, which is going to premiere at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, U.S. tomorrow.
Is it going to be called I Am Sorry?
No, it's actually called Maddie versus the Avocado.
Oh, I had an episode of Dragon Bites. It was something about like remember something and the avocados. I was on with MC and we were having banter and he said something about sacrificing avocados to a twister, which seemed kind of silly in my mind as it would be a waste of avocados.
You know, being brutally honest, as I tend to get the drunker I get, I tune into MC in the morning once or twice a week after asking myself the question, do I really want to listen to a rant before coffee? And if the answer is yes, I click on his stream.
I love MC just because I haven't been to a lot of his live streams recently as there's other things out there in the world rather than listening to MC rant and rave about all the things in the world.
Right?
It's like there is light at the end of other tunnels. You just need to go down them.
Right.
Welcome, Ghost Dog 999. I think I may have seen you here before. If not, welcome.
Oh,
Welcome,
Ghost,
as well as we have Miss Chelsea Lynn as well. Continue, Maddie.
Ghost Dog tends to jump around a lot here and there. And there. Hey, Sharati, how you doing, sweetie? You're finally getting me not caffeinated, but on my way to being thoroughly shit-faced due to stress. This is how I cope with stress. Shit.
Yes. I have two lovely young ladies on the panel right now, and both are engaged in the act of imbibing alcohol. So we need to watch them and make sure we guide them thoroughly for their sins.
I love you eternally for that remark, dear memes. But, you know, at 46, there are certain things that are not that endearing about me, especially the circles under my eyes.
Hey, Angelus.
Teach their own. Oh, we got Angelus. We got our favorite internet Deadpool. What's going on, brother? How are you doing? Welcome to some late night madness. What will happen? Who knows? The last time we were here, Miss Laura invited a gentleman on that ended up causing a lot of conflict, dropped an N-bomb on my stream, which I then made privated, and caused a lot of chaos. I woke up with some angry DMs and stuff like that because nobody would ever misunderstand each other on the internet, and the sheer fact is, if both individuals happen to know what I at least know about, as far as I know about their backstories and stuff, I don't think there was any reason to be yelling at each other, but I wanted to respect the individual's privacy.
As a side note and a drunken public service announcement, if you guys have an Aldi's in your area, pick
Go
up
on.
both guava and mango juice and strawberry kiwi juice and Bacardi Gold, because Bacardi Gold goes great with both.
Oh, does it have those gold flakes and chips and stuff in them?
No, Bacardi Gold is just the color of the actual liquor itself, but it's so smooth it blends wonderfully with both types of juice.
What type of juice?
The guava mango juice and the strawberry kiwi juice.
Is it just me, or can you not find strawberry juice?
Strawberry juice, to me, strawberry kiwi is because one needs to balance out the other, but you can find a half gallon of each at Aldi's. And no, this is not a sponsored plug. I just like Aldi's because it's cheap as fuck and they have really good shit.
And that is a Google review for you. Dude,
Yeah.
when I actually went to like my old Baba's, which I need to go back to at some point, frickin' like, dude, I gave them an excellent Google review, and they're like, dude, frickin' thank you, man, it helped me. I'm like, dude, you fixed my ugly mug. I'm like, I'm just gonna frickin' tell the truth. It's like, I'm gonna spend the time, because let's face it, when do most people like start talking about things on the internet? When things bother them, because they want to vent, they want to rage, they want to get that Schadenfreude there. And just gonna get that little pep. It's like, yes, I am destroying something, because sometimes before creation there must be destruction and everything. Whereas I'm like, I like turtles.
Oh my god.
or in my case, being that particular, 46-year-old Cuban, I have reached that point in my life where I don't give a shit what comes out of my mouth, and the filter is non-existent. So, in a lot of reaction channels, a lot of reaction videos that you see on my channel, rather, that's my unfiltered opinion. So take it or leave it, because I really don't care either way.
And we must welcome Oz the Great and Powerful in the chat as well. Thank you for joining us today, Oz. Yes, chaos is good for me. Oh, you're going to be changing your avatar to something more relating. And, oh, well, that's not very nice. I can only assume you're going to be becoming a Majin like I have been at some points in my life. Just an enigmatic destroy. Or like my most recent upload, the whole Dragon Bites, number 30. I like wizards and BDSM. So, I have a brand new intro for that. Thank you, courtesy. Oh, I actually did give attribution as well to Netflix original Godzilla series as well. Ah, yes. The Avatar of Destruction roars, and then it goes to my little thingy here. See, look. Oh, yay, George of the. Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't think I allowed your first avatar that I ever saw you in to pass, because having a son, I had to watch Yu-Gi-Oh, so I know the silver blue-eyed dragon.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Exactly. I'm drunk. Thank you for the
it is actually the avatar of the Control alt-right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I realized that I was using a blue-eyed white dragon. I'm like, wait a second. I have blue eyes. Oh, I'm kind of white. I like dragons. I'm like, wait a second. The alt-right could take this. Let me create a fictional organization first and like control alt-right. So like, haha, furries are welcome. Yeah, they weren't big fans of furries, so I'm like, we're going to be the inclusive branch.
Now, I did inadvertently frustrate a lot of my son's friends growing up, because my son was into Yu-Gi-Oh! And being the dutiful parent that I like to tout to be, I would watch all the cartoons that he was interested in, and the non-cartoons like Power Rangers. So I saw all the Pokemon shit that I never got interested in. I saw the Digimon stuff. I saw the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. And he came home one day with handfuls of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, and he asked me to build him a deck. Now, me, having experience from playing Magic the Gathering, listened to all the descriptions of all of the cards that Yu-Gi-Oh! Had to offer, and made him a deck. About a week later, one of his friends who lived across the street walked across the street, knocked on my door, and asked me if I could make a deck for him, because The deck I had made for my son was not apparently undefeatable because he had one of those headless horseman cards, and I had made the deck to revolve around and buff that particular card. So I said, maybe I learned too much from my Magic the Gathering days, because apparently that headless horseman was decimating every deck that everybody had as a thoughtful response, and they were getting frustrated. And I looked at my son, whose name is Paul, and said, "You're not telling them that I made you the deck, are you? Please tell me you're not telling them that your mother, who's a gaming geek, who played Magic the Gathering, made you the deck." And he kind of shuffled his feet, looked at the floor, and went, "Yeah, I kind of blamed it on you." And I went, "Okay, Paul, I say this with all the love in the world, my wonderful teenage child, but fuck you, because now you have made me the nemesis of the child neighborhood." So now I had to instruct people, teens in particular, on how to make a deck and who to revolve it around if they found a very strong character to revolve it around.
So you were like Cruella Deckville.
Pretty much.
How dare you decimate those 101 cards of other people's kids?
I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it because
Horrible woman.
as most people know, I am honest to a fault. But I have a dark secret. When I played Magic the Gathering, I loved playing the black deck because all of us have an evil side. And I exercised it. And I had fallen angels and thrall praetors in my deck that I had to sacrifice prowls to. So I had a prowl generator in the deck, as well as plague rats. And the only deck that could oppose it was my friend Omar's deck, who had a green deck with fucking swamp walkers and vipers in it. Fuck you, Omar. I love you, but fuck you for that deck, dude, because I will never forgive you for that bullshit.
So
Never, ever.
I have one question. Did you say you had a porn generator in your deck?
No, prawn. It was
Yeah,
a praetor.
porn.
The praetor you had to sacrifice thralls to, just like the fallen angel.
I had a baby red deck. It was just basically Zerg, Zerg, Zerg. You shoot fireballs and stuff.
I had a black deck, and then to really piss people off, I had a black-blue deck, which later on my second husband considered it a, what was the fuck he said? The fuck you deck? I may be like misinformed on that. Because every time he tried to put something out, I had a counter to it that would give him -1 to his health for every X he had on the board. So he hated me eternally for that bullshit. But then Magic the Gathering rules changed and the game became unfun. So I stopped playing it. Hi, Nick.
There.
I'm drunk and I'm here.
Oh, well, it's all the cards are just aligning, aren't they? Da-da-da.
Yeah, it's fucking perfect. I'm nearly drunk. I'm also here. Let's go.
Oh,
Right.
no. Oh no. Well, see, for me, it was more of just kind of like having my Yu-Gi-Oh and just kind of like almost like a Kaiba structure style deck there, where it's like, all right, I got my 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, I got my 3 Flutes of Summoning Dragons, I got my 3 Lords of Dragons with a mostly all dragon deck. It's like as soon as you get any combination of those cards, it's like, all right, there's like 5,000 points of attack on the field there, and then we just kind of go.
Right?
And we got a rev.
By the time Yu-Gi-Oh came around, I was well versed on knowing how to strategically build a Magic deck. So I just transferred that over to how to build a Magic deck when my kid came to me with a bunch of Magic random cards and go, "Mama, help me." That and the fact that when you are a parent, I don't care what the fuck you say, you have to watch very key cartoons. Number 1, Pokemon. No matter how corny you think it is, No matter how much you can't fucking understand the Pokemon that are talking to their master,
What?
you have to watch it.
You,
You have to watch Power Rangers just in case they go, Mommy, I want a Power Rangers from X season, so you know what to look for in the now defunct Toys R Us.
well,
And
no,
you
that's,
have to be able to speak to them when they go, Mommy, I just saw this cartoon, because you're watching it with them, so you can actually commentate it with them. Of course, my son was born in 92, so we got to watch all the X-Men and Marvel Power Hour cartoons with him, in which he said, which he liked, number one, he loved the Iron Man cartoon, he liked the original Hulk cartoon, not so much when he turned gray, but that's a whole different bullshit.
oh, old Hulk.
Old Hulk.
My
And
nephew
then,
loved old Hulk.
Right, I introduced him to the classic Voltron. We got to watch Transor Z together. For those of you that are probably 30 years of age and older, you know what Transor Z is, which is, I've always considered it a Voltron ripoff. And, beyond, because those were the good things. And then I got to show him the classic Spider-Man cartoon, which to me always looked like he was webbing from underneath a floating city from rubble to rubble. But that's just me. Maybe I'm drunk, but that's how I remember that whole webbing thing, how he transported himself from point A to point B.
I really did like how he jumped around there. Now, Maddie, are you sure you had to watch all of these with your kid, or are you just saying you loved watching these with your kid?
Okay. Honestly, now that you have me drunk and I am at my most honest, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was kind of
Yes.
entertaining. I like that. I liked it to the Ninja Rangers. When they got to the racing car Rangers, the outer space Rangers, and the Rangers where they had to run duck with their fucking swords behind them, it got a little corny, and I made myself watch them because I wanted to know what the fuck he was talking about, just in case he said, Mommy, I want this Ranger from that season. That's how bad it got.
So, Del Hayes in the chat, welcome, Del Hayes. I wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers as a kid. Mom thought it'd make me weird. Nice to see that worked out, XD. Welcome to Late Night Madness.
Right? I have a particular philosophy. What the fuck is normal? Because to me, I've always been weird, and weird is normal for me.
Well, that's the
normal
thing.
It's a cycle on a washing machine. That's what normal is.
Right?
Is this a
It's
live
cycle on
stream?
a washing machine.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's the first live stream I've ever been on.
Welcome.
Welcome.
You dickhead.
Oh, we're popping Rev's cherry, although I think that's a lie. My apologies for my misogyny.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well,
Right?
maybe I've been-
Unfortunately-
Maybe I've been drinking and have been live for over 12 hours today, but whatever.
Oh, you're
You-
drunk too. Welcome to the
Oh,
drunk
and I
party.
haven't read. And I haven't read. Exactly, because 8 of those hours were mine.
No, you were on for 9.5 hours.
Well, 9.5 hours then. Yeah,
Wait,
so
wait.
the 1 hour happy hangover hour. Yeah,
So,
it ended up
so,
being 9 hours.
Rev, have you been streaming for like 15 hours today?
I think it's just over 12. Something
Fair
like
enough.
that. I've only
So
been
about
up
the same
for like
as me then.
13 hours.
All right.
About the same as me then.
And welcome Keely Chow in the chat there. I've seen you around there before. Welcome to Late Night Madness. What's going to happen? I have no idea. And then
Oh, and don't forget to vote for memes for president of the internet.
that is right. That is
No.
right.
Vote for Lucy
Yes.
Luxor.
Yes,
Lucy
yes.
Luxor.
Well,
No.
now when in the course of
I'm
internet
gonna be
events it
down
becomes
there.
self-evident
Lucy.
that all internet personas are created equal. Upon this net, well, here's the thing. I see all these folks freaking out about all the fake news going on in a real election. So myself, Arthur, and Mitch, we kind of conceptualized the other day. Well, why don't we do real news about a fake election? And let's have fun with it. It's literally all just a meme, bro. So That's the thing. So yes, I am running for president of the internet, and you know what? Everybody else is welcome to run as well. They're willing to campaign. They can do whatever they want. They can make memes, have fun. Because here's the thing: you are the internet.
Mm-hmm.
We are the internet. Because as soon as we all stop fighting amongst each other, and we look up, it's like, "Hi, Plux, make system fair, please. Okay, thanks, bye." So
Right.
that's kind of how I see
I'm
things.
gonna run as vice president for Lucy.
Do it.
Man, metal man.
I've just messaged Lucy and I've just got it's like 6 o'clock in the morning and I've just messaged her. Oops.
Oh. Well, she won't respond.
Mad Metal Man, I've known you from Fenn's live stream and stuff, and don't feel bad because I don't stream drunk often, but I am stressed, I am frustrated, and I'm really, to be honest, fucking fed up with everything. So don't feel bad that you're not drunk and not stoned, because I'm going to tell you guys a very, very, very funny story. My first job was a convenience store. And for those of you that frequent convenience stores and smoke a particularly illicit substance that you can stuff in cigars, I was unaware of that particular thing being drug-free and, toke-free for a different type of nomenclature. And I was and I looked at my manager and I said, "Wow, these Philly blunts are flying off the shelf at a rather prodigious rate. They must be a really good cigar." And then my manager told me that she was a member of many, many motorcycle rallies. And then she proceeded to explain to me why the blunts were expensive and what a blunt was.
Yeah,
And
the
at
backwards is better.
right? And at the end of that, she didn't say anything. And I looked at her and I said, "So are you trying to tell me that a blunt is cigar tobacco that is stuffed with so I won't get memes in trouble because I am not that drunk, a particular substance that is illegal in certain particular states that is green and has a lot of medicinal values and creates the munchies in certain strains."
Oh, alfalfa?
Alfalfa, for lack of a better term.
That's
I
Reddit.
said, "You're telling me you didn't inhale this?" She said, "Yes, I was witness to many people smoking it." And I went, "Okay, Clinton, whatever you want to fucking say, but thank you for the education. And now I know why Philly blunts are so popular." She started laughing as she walked out of the fucking cage we were in, which were the registers that we were standing behind. Now, for those of you that don't believe me, I was raised in a family that
No way, I was raised in a family too.
Look, as hard as it actually is to believe, until I got into about high school, it was an actually functional family. I say that because around high school, my mom started fucking cheating on my dad. And so I decided to write a 4-page letter on how their constant arguing was affecting my education.
You know how much of a stable family I grew up in? When you said put things in cigars, my mind immediately went to Bill Clinton.
Oh no.
I had a
Now-
coworker that was trying to quit smoking cigars, and when he said he didn't inhale, I went, "Okay, Clinton."
So that is one of the things I did actually appreciate about President Obama, because in his book he's like, "Yes, I did inhale. That was the point. And I also did some yay when I had the cash." Holy crap, an honest answer. Thank you.
Yeah, meanwhile, George W. Bush was like, "No, I didn't do any blow."
Well, I mean, he may or may not have had a felony incoming, and if your dad happens to be governor, that may happen. To be fair, my grandfather actually made some furniture for the former governor of Massachusetts, and the governor liked it so much he called them up, and he's like, "Grandpa Memes, what can I do for you?" He's like, "I have a very heavy foot." So he did something back in the day where all the speeding tickets in Massachusetts ended up going through a particular clerk. he happened to give the name, so he would just call it anytime he gets a speeding ticket. And then one day he gets a ticket. He's all like, "Yes, officer. Yep. Oh, that's fine. I was going fast." He goes to call. The lady retired.
I had a friend of mine I was dating at the time he told me about a story that when he was in Indiana visiting a friend, he was pulled over for speeding. He said he was completely nervous as he watched the officer walk up to his window and tap on it. When the officer said, "I've been waiting for you," he said, "I swear to God, the only response I had was, I got here as fast as I could, officer." He actually got out of the fucking speed ticket, and this idiot was going 90 and a 55 in Indiana.
That's brilliant.
No. Who was on? Who was it? Was it Bubba the other day, Laura? Where literally like big dudes, like probably like 6'6", 6'7". Yeah, Bubba.
Yeah.
Bubba. Yeah. He was riding with his girlfriend or his wife at the time, and they were going down a one-way, and he was going the wrong way down a one-way, and he was hammered. The officer comes up to him, and he's like, "You know you're going down a one-way." He's like, "I can only go one way, officer." Like that's how drunk he was. The officer started to bust out laughing. He's like, Get out of here. So that little bit of levity probably saved him a DWI.
When I was about 9 or 10, it's New Year's Eve. My parents always had the habit of renting a hotel room where the New Year's Eve party was happening. Mm. However, this particular New Year's Eve party, it was one of those strip motels where everything was on one level, if you know what I mean. And when they got back, I was about 10 at the time, so they figured I was responsible, quote unquote, responsible to be by myself in the hotel room until they got back. Well, they got back shortly after midnight, around 1 o'clock. Around 1 o'clock. My dad was drunk off his fucking ass. Here I am, watching my parents come in. My dad strips. Now my dad, who was ex-military, was wearing a suit. He took off his jacket and he took off his shoes. That was it. Now I'm going to add to this. In the back of this wonderful strip hotel was a pool. So when he took his jacket off and his shoes, he opened the sliding glass door, walked out of it, and proceeded to go to the diving board and dive into the pool. Now, me, being as young as I was, thought this was cool as shit. So I asked my mom if I could go swimming with Dad, and I did not fucking understand when my mom told me to go to bed. The next morning, when my dad woke up and the rest of the suit was still wet, I told him in my ever lacking of intelligence, "Well, Daddy, you came home kind of wonky last night and went swimming in the pool in the backyard." And I asked Mommy if I could go, and she said no. Dad said, "That never happened." I went, "Oh, yes, it did, because I saw it. You took a swim in the pool, Daddy. You jumped off the diving pool." And he just looked at me like there was a horn growing out of the middle of my fucking head.
Wait, I like swimming.
I like turtles.
But apparently when you're 10 years old and you see your drunk father take the jacket off of his two-piece suit and his shoes off and dive into a pool, and you're not allowed to go in after him, that's not socially acceptable.
Well, it is when he's drunk.
And not according to my mom.
I thought you were pretty when I'm drunk.
It's a good song.
Pretty when I'm drunk. Pretty when I'm drunk.
Drunk.
Drunk. Do.
Bloodhound Gang, one fierce beer coaster.
Dude, I remember listening to them as we were maybe exploring places we may or may not should have been. All I know is the fence seemed open.
Kiss Me Where It Smells Funny.
just exploring just exploring an underground military base and everything. It's before the years of all these cell phone cameras. You actually need like these flashlights and stuff. And then for some reason somebody had a candle. I think my friend poured wax on his cock because, well, it seemed like a good idea.
Yeah, it does sometimes.
You know what they say? Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
Right.
Almond Joy's got nuts. Mounds don't. Sometimes you feel like, sometimes you don't.
And that was the when I in my younger years, and I say my younger years, and I stress that I didn't have blackouts, I didn't have hangovers. I remembered every fucking stupid thing I did when I was drunk. So I was one of those few that woke up the next morning going, "Oh my fucking god, I did that." And one of those instances was when my second husband used to make something called retribution, which is a whole bunch of hard liquors and beer mixed in a fucking cooler with ice. And I got drunk off of that to the point where I let a 4 or 5 month drunk woman strip nude and dive in our pool. That was not a good moment for me.
4 or 5 months?
4 or 5 months, yeah. Because she literally looked at me. I guess she knew I was so shit-faced I couldn't even walk straight and go, "Can I go swimming in your pool in the backyard?" I went, "Sure." And that's when I heard Mark go, "That's not a good idea." And I went, "I don't give a shit."
Was she 4 or 5 months old, or was she 4 or 5 months drunk?
4 or 5 months pregnant and drunk.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That was the word we were missing.
Yeah, sorry. Don't mind corrections when I'm this far off. I think I'm about 5 sheets, 6 maybe sheets to the wind, if you guys understand that fucking reference.
Oh, you've been singing.
No,
Mitch
I'm a
says,
lightweight.
Mitch
Is that
says
like-
don't sing. Sorry.
Is that like pissing in the wind?
No. My parents used to have this gauge that was quote unquote sheets to the wind. And they also had these friends that were, for some ununderstandable reason, bigoted that they knew that they were quote unquote 10 sheets to the wind. In other words, fucking drunk. When mom's friend Lex turned around and kissed a black dude on the mouth.
I wonder how many sheets to the wind I was last night, because I totally passed the hell out and woke up and was drunk half the day.
That would be about 10.
It was hilarious.
Did you have a did you have a rev roll?
Yeah, I was on the V bar,
first time
fell
I did.
asleep.
The first time he didn't.
I was like,
Now, Mitch, I'm not sure that's allowed on YouTube. Actually, that is allowed on YouTube. But it's probably not allowed on Pornhub necessarily. Well, maybe. Oh, actually, my most recent Pornhub video, last time I checked it, had 7 views and 1 like.
you got a video?
You've got a Pornhub?
Yes.
Everybody's got a Pornhub.
Don't
Oh,
you?
really? No?
Oh. Well, you're pretty.
Oh my god, shut up, you weirdo.
I don't have one either.
I think he's trying to tell you you'll get more than 7 views.
Oh, okay.
Oh no. Welcome, Levy. But wait, we can't allow that on YouTube. I'm sorry. No, we could do that over in Pornhub. I mean, your people can call my people and everything. That's fine. To each their own.
To the wind.
No, this is the modern monetization market. You use what you got. Why the hell not? If all these old jobs are going away, do something. We're like the modern stuff and things.
Now
Because
here's
it's
something.
freezing here and
before-
it's freezing, and I've started to cover up more because it's freezing. Like, I still get all my people coming back, even with no cleavage. It's brilliant. And no makeup. I've even done a stream with no makeup now, and
Number
they're still
one.
fucking fun.
Yeah.
Oh.
Number one.
Oh.
You've been on
Ira's
how
on it.
long? Wait. No. You've been on how long?
I don't know, 30, 40 minutes.
38 minutes.
So why the hell didn't your fucking ass come in and say hi to me on my celebration stream when I sent you the link?
Called
What?
YouTube.
I was
Fucking
making a
ass.
video and doing other things.
You're being a lazy sod.
Oh, my
you
apologies.
could
I
have
was not
spent a couple
available.
minutes. You
God.
could have spent a couple minutes to come and give me a little support.
Oh, I
Did you
didn't
say-
know we were on a partnership program where we had certain contractual obligations.
People in the
It's not
chat.
contractual. It's I'm being a bitch
Oh,
People-
why would you do that?
because
Did
it's
you say
fucking
a
fun.
lazy sod?
Oh, well, but wouldn't
Yes, I
that,
called him a lazy
wouldn't that cause drama?
What the hell's a
you and your
sod?
drama.
Oh, yeah, we don't need
Son of a
drama.
dick.
People in the chat.
Oh,
this
I
is
am.
one drunk bitch using
How'd you know?
AMSR whispering as much as she can whisper is allowed to do a public service announcement telling you the 3 women versus 2 men, meaning the men are drowning in fucking estrogen means they may need a
And
lifeline
cleavage.
sooner or
And
later.
cleavage.
Wait, what?
Men are drowning in estrogen and cleavage. Now suck it.
Thank you.
Oh,
No,
I
not cleavage, because I don't show my cleavage.
no. See, I thought
You don't have to show it for them to drown in
I
it.
can't help but show mine when I'm not wearing big tops. They always show.
I show
big.
mine all the time. I don't fucking care.
I've been here like 14 minutes and no chick's even called me a cunt. This is weird.
Wait, what?
Oh, sorry.
I don't
man.
use that word.
No, I
Red
have
flags
been
for
on
women.
occasion.
No, it's
when-
okay when you call a guy that. It's
Oh,
fun.
well. I
I
don't,
don't
give a
use
shit
that
what
word.
you call me.
I'm not
I'll
a
call you a
fan.
dick. I'll call you a wanker. I'll call you a piece of shit. I'll call you any number of things. I just don't use that word.
Right? Look, being Cuban descendant, I don't give a shit if you call me a boat person, a beaner, a fucking spick. I don't give a shit because those terms don't mean anything to my ass. Because as far as I'm concerned, I was born here in Miami and my parents came from Cuba. And if you can actually prove to me that you've been through anything worse than my parents have been through, kudos to fucking you. So I'm standing here telling you now, as drunk as I am, before I have to go take a piss. Yes, I know, in parentheses, that's usually a man's term, that you're sitting here calling me the bitch of a big ass boat riding beaner, that I'm very proud to be one because I know my parents know the importance of freedom and being able to say whatever the fuck they want. And I am proud of my mom who told me that having a filter is fuck shit. Say whatever you want. And if they're offended, that's their goddamn problem once they ask you for their honest opinion. So on that note,
I was just
I'm
wondering
going to
who
go mute
said those.
myself and go take a piss. I'll be back in a minute, maybe 5.
Oh, well, it's 2020. I mean, you can take a piss if you want to.
I was just wondering who said those terms. I must have missed something.
What, cremini?
I've never
like
heard
cremini.
anything from Cuba called a beaner.
I like beans.
I like
Neither
beans.
do I.
I ate them for dinner.
Oh, were they bushes?
But as for the filter thing, I don't have one. So fuck.
No, you do. You said you don't say cunt, so you have a filter.
That's not
sorry,
that's not an
Jesse.
actual filter. That's my brain doesn't think that word, so it doesn't come out my mouth. I don't actually have a physical filter. I can't censor what I say.
You're American, huh?
No, I have seizure damage, but American has nothing to do with it.
Well, no. Foreign girls love calling me a cunt. That's why I was asking.
No,
It's
play
just not
nice.
my word.
I think it's hilarious when you call a guy a cunt. It's just hilarious. You can't call a woman that.
It's hilarious when an English
I
girl
call
calls
men
you a cunt.
twats.
That's funny too. You can't call a woman that. That's not funny.
Oh, I call women that. Fuck them. If they're a twat, they're a twat.
So you disagree on the use of certain terminology?
Well,
My brain
more-
doesn't like
I
certain
find it
words
hilarious.
because that's my personal taste. So I'm not thinking them, so they don't come out my mouth.
It's kind of like you don't call a gay guy a faggot, but you call a straight guy that. That's
Right.
funny.
Actually, I don't use that word either.
I use that when I'm smoking them, but I think we need more groovy. We need to bring
I'm gonna
groovy
say,
back.
you know, he said smoking them. I know he means cigarettes, but I'm gonna say he's smoking something else down on his knees.
Hey yo.
Hey, hey.
That is hilarious when you hear British or Australian people say that they're going to smoke a fag.
What?
Smoke a fag.
He said you're a little bitch.
Oh,
I didn't
Okay.
say that.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
See, that's another one. That's funny when you call a guy a bitch, but you know, don't
Yeah.
even bother calling a woman a bitch.
I call women dicks and bastards too. So what the fuck? It doesn't fucking
well,
matter.
you can do whatever you
those
want.
aren't nice words either.
And I call men fucking sluts all the time.
That's funny.
A lot of men are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A slut is a slut is a slut. I don't care what the fuck they're packing between their legs.
It still doesn't have the best of connotation for many words.
Fuck connotation. I don't give a fuck
Oh.
what anyone fucking thinks. Fuck them, the fucking fuckers.
Then why do we have arguments on the internet?
Because
You're
people
not
always have
present.
something to argue about.
Oh,
Because
Okay.
arguing is fucking fun.
oh, I like
Right?
that.
If you
Sometimes
became
you
president of the internet, there'd be no more drama, no more arguing, no nothing, man. It'd be-
What?
Bull fucking shit.
What, dude, what are you, dude? I ain't the almighty. There's no way you can control the internet. That's just naive, and I'm being Oh my god! Oh, it's in the little thing.
Eric Pug, because I just
Oh,
got
nice
back to the
bitch.
quote, obviously, since I unmuted myself. I don't have a filter equals unemployable. Believe it or not, I used to work for Party City. In my first Halloween season for Party City, for those of you that don't know what Party City is, it is a store that actually sells seasonal party items as well as party items for all year round. and
I
all
have
occasions.
worked many
so-
jobs, including management and other stuff, and I literally physically don't have a filter. So, fuck you, you fucking fuck.
Right? So I got hired.
I don't give a flying fuck what you think.
Exactly.
Oh. Is
Exactly.
that why we're on the internet to just say mean words?
One Halloween
Yeah.
season.
No, I say those regardless of whether I'm online or not. Fucking
Oh.
hell.
But
Then you're
you have
gonna-
more opportunities too on the internet.
Then you're gonna.
Not
love
really.
this. I may
You should
get
ask
some-
the people in town what I'm like.
Yeah. You may get some laws in the chat. One of the Halloween seasons, and for those of you that are not versed in Party City culture, since everything's a fucking culture now, Party City's Halloween is like Walmart's Christmas, now that I have explained that. During the orientation, I have been told that no matter what the person says, when they ask you what they look like in the costume, you have to tell them that they look good in the costume. I went,
See, I hate that bullshit. I hate that fucking
okay.
Don't lie to somebody and tell them something looks good. You don't have to be
No, no,
a
no.
dick.
You're gonna,
You don't have to
you're
be a
gonna like
bitch.
this.
Whoa. Look, this is the thing. Because I've worked in a fucking clothing boutique, and we dealt with the girls in their prom dresses. And one of the things they all hated was these people who would tell them it looks good no matter how it looked when they were trying them on. That's bullshit. It's
Right.
fucking bullshit.
Oh,
You're-
well, you
you're-
shouldn't
you're-
lie.
You're probably either going to
No.
like or respect or a combination of both. It's me and this one. They said no matter how much they look, no matter how bad they look in it, they look good in the costume. You're not supposed to tell them that they look inappropriate in the costume. Well, there is this woman that was very plus sized, a little more so than most of our costumes, that decided to come out of the changing room in a French maid costume. And out of
Ooh.
all the people that she could have asked for an opinion, she looked at me and she said, "How do you think I look in this costume?" Now, me, who is usually unapologetically and unsugarcoatedly honest, looked at her and went, "You look all right, but it looks a little snug around the middle." Which for me translated means you're a fat bitch in a costume that's too small for you. But I didn't say that out loud. I just said it was a little snug in the middle.
Well,
by
hell,
the
I'm a
middle,
fat
you mean
bitch.
like
Fuck it.
this area, right? Like this
Oh.
whole
So you do have a filter.
She looked at me and she said, "You're right. Maybe I should pick something a little more form-fitting." I didn't say anything to that. I said, "That's up to you, ma'am. We're just here to accommodate your costume needs." I went into the break room. The manager looked at me and she said, "You shouldn't have said that to that person." I said, "What did you want me to tell her? That she's trying to fit 50 pounds of fucking cellulite in a 20-pound fucking costume and she looks like a beached whale?"
Well,
I mean,
no, you
really, at least
no, you're
I was
honest.
being diplomatic.
No, you choose your
Oh,
words. You're
fat
still
bitches
saying
unite.
no. You're saying basically just you're being kind with your words. You're still communicating the same point more or less, but just not being a dick about it.
Yeah.
See, when I dealt with the dresses, I was constantly, you don't say, "God, you look like fucking shit," even if you think that's the truth about the person.
No, you just say.
But
that's
that
not-
you don't. You also you make yourself know you sit there and you say the bad things under your breath when they can't hear you. And then when they talk to you, you give them the more diplomatic answer.
Oh, the shit we could have said if we weren't.
So they'd come to me and the ones that always got me were these girls that really pretty girls, but you know, you're pale, you're blonde, and you're wearing a dress way too small and it's freaking tan or yellow and you look washed out and ugly.
Right.
And look at me going, how do I look? It's like, it's not the right color for your skin tone.
Oh, blue.
Right?
Blues and greens, especially if you're blonde like that, bring out your eyes and bring out your flesh.
Exactly. Now, there were these
That's
two
called color theory.
Yeah, there were these two high school girls that were looking in the 80s section at the wigs that looked at me and said, "Do you have any advice?" I said, "For somebody who grew up in the 80s and might get fired for this kind of advice, you don't need a $20 wig. You need gel or mousse, a teasing comb, and the following mantra: the bigger the better, because tease the crap out of that hair and you will get it to stand up as you know, as much as the day is long." And they said, "Are you kidding?" I said, $8 is probably the most you can spend for gel or mousse and a teasing comb to get the same fucking effect you're looking for in this $25 wig. Don't waste your money, honey. I grew up in the 80s. I knew. And I went to school with a girl who, I shit you not, her fucking bangs stretched from the top of her forehead to her chin. And I swear to God, she had them motherfuckers gelled to stand straight up 365 days in a year.
Oh, she was like a Super Saiyan.
I totally miss the 80s.
It's awesome.
The only thing I don't miss about the 80s is the fucking fluorescent colors. Because insert color here, I can live without.
Now, Maddie, let us not forget the 70s and the furry walls.
The furry walls are not as bad as being able to pick out somebody
That's
wearing
the
fluorescent
furry
yellow
wall.
in the crowd of 10,000 people.
Wait, what's wrong with yellow?
Fluorescent yellow. I'm stressing the fluorescent.
Oh. Wait, is that a hashtag
Or-
not all?
Otherwise known as day glow yellow
Wait, did you say what's wrong with YOLO?
or blacklight yellow.
Well, that's
No,
what the kids say.
honey.
Yeah, YOLO.
Yeah,
YOLO
it's like,
is a phrase for ignorant people that don't realize there are consequences to their actions.
I thought it was like a Rolo with yogurt.
That's because you're fucking stupid.
Oh,
Literally, at one point,
It shows where my mind is.
DMs, this was four years ago. What the fuck YOLO stood for? Because I am being 46 years old and being born in 1973. Don't understand what all the acronyms stood for. And when they said was, "You only live once," my response was, that is the dumbest fucking phrase on the internet I have ever goddamn heard.
hey, the back of your phone looks just like the back of my phone. That like
Cheap?
midnight blue.
Whoa.
Cheap as fuck.
This
I-
wasn't cheap.
I
Mine
like
was.
I like the push to have more people with capes. I think this is progress here.
Keely, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, I'm the kind of 46-year-old bitch that looks at all these SJWs trying to put guidelines on Halloween costumes that replies by saying, "I want to know how to be," and I say this specifically, a hippie, dreadlock wearing, Native American, feather wearing, hippie bitch as I can be to offend you as much as absolutely fucking possible. Because if I can wear dreads while I'm wearing a feather thing that is noted to American Indians, I'm
Headdress.
going to do that fucking shit because it's Halloween and appropriation is fucking moot. I'm a Cuban and I'm here to tell you, if you want to learn how to make a traditional Cuban feast, come to my house, because my Cuban ass will teach you how to make the roast pork, the black beans, the plantains, the rice pudding, and the fucking bread pudding, and the flan to go on top.
What she's
including
saying
the
on that.
majo for the yuca.
I can give something to both sides of what she's saying there. For what? Because the reason why appropriation is bullshit. It fucking is.
Mm-hmm.
But I am mixed. My family comes native. And I can say the reason why some of them, even when we're not SJW, even when we don't agree with the appropriation ship, oppose the feathers outside of Halloween is because they are awarded like military medals for acts of bravery.
Well, the thing is, like, if you're on Halloween, that's the whole thing.
But at
It's once a
Halloween,
year.
people dress up as military guys. I mean, it's no fucking thing. People who get uptight over Halloween costumes should go suck a fat cock and shut the fuck up.
Prince Harry dressed like a Nazi.
There's a difference
Girls
between
that aren't a whore dress like whores.
there's a difference between dressing up like a soldier for Halloween and actually dressing in Class A's with medals, which is stolen valor. My father was a soldier in the Air Force in the most unfamous time in history. For those of you in the live chat and maybe in the panel that don't know, I'm referring to the Vietnam era. My dad was a Vietnam veteran. He was in the Air Force. And for those of you that are going to do ruffles and start making fun of the Air Force, let me tell you that the only thing that isn't declassified about what he did in his job in the Air Force was the fact that he was airdropped into hot fire zones to repair fighter planes in order for the pilots to fly them back out. I am proud of my father. I am proud of any member of the military to this date because I consider, arguably, joining the military as being a calling more than a career, because when you decide that you wish to defend our country for its freedoms and for everything that the Constitution stands for, note that I said the Constitution and not necessarily the president or anything the fucking Congress stands for, the Constitution, which is in the vows when you take, an oath to become a member of the military.
But we really haven't had a constitutional war since the Second World War.
No, what a lot of people don't realize.
Wait. Let me explain what I was finishing there with that, because I don't have a good fan here. But the point being on that, so yes, it's illegal to actually try and make yourself look exactly like it, have the actual medals, just like under federal law, people who are doing those costumes with the native stuff, they can't use actual eagle feathers.
No, you can't have eagle feathers no matter what. It's the 1970 something protection on birds of prey.
And anybody native can.
Yeah, they can.
I can.
That's the only exception.
No, there's a bit of trivia that I'm going to add to it that I'm going to.
But my point. Let me finish real quick. My point being on that. So there is a little bit. I understand you don't want people to wear things that are awarded for very specific things, because you want to honor the person who earned those things legitimately. Which was my point. And that goes also to the roots with that, because right now, by almost 5 times any other group in the country, the highest per person military rate is within the tribes on the reservation.
And welcome to Mitch the Ripper, one of my honorable adversaries, who is going to be running as vice president on the ticket of Arthur the Hat. Oh, and we have Levi. Welcome.
Groovy.
Men of Ray of Hope, let me tell you something. I am not a mean drunk. I am more of a rambling drunk. Because even though my ADD is slowed when I'm drunk, I still tend to ramble, sweetheart.
Oh no, you had a very excellent ramble. You were just rambling, and other folks wanted to ramble with you.
Well, the problem I see, and I've seen this trend with my dad after studying the Vietnam War and Jane Fonda, the bitch, and now what's going on in the Middle East.
Jane Fonda is a worthless cum rag traitorous socket whore.
She is.
Didn't she apologize for all that stuff?
No, she's unapologetic for what she did.
Didn't she believe what she was doing what was right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's still treasonous.
What I want to remind people in the live chat and on the panel is when you heed the calling of being a member of the military, no matter what branch, you go where you are told to go, and you heed whatever orders you are told to heed. Now, there are certain exceptions for you to object to those particular orders, depending on how. I'm too drunk.
You also have commander abilities on the ground. Like, for instance, basically at the whole missile crisis before. Basically, the Soviets, the original standing orders were to launch if we Americans were to launch depth charges. We launched depth charges. At one point, I believe there was like a single Soviet colonel that's like, I don't want this to be the end of the world, so he didn't issue the launch orders.
Yep.
This is one of the reasons why I think most folks are good people and stuff like that. It's like, if you are in that position, do you really want to be the person that gives the order to end the world?
Yeah.
Taking it.
Yeah, that was a great story too, man. Hey, props to that Russian dude.
Hey, I probably got thrown in a gulag, but I mean, these things happen.
Taking a deep breath and concentrating very hard on the fact that I am very drunk. Those that do not know on the panel or in the
let us attempt to be inclusive. So, Mitch, welcome, good sir. Why don't you share some words?
Regarding that Russian commander, he sailed into history.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
I'm sorry, I had to do that.
So Levi, give us a few words, my friend. Can you? Oh God. Oh well, thank you for joining us. You look like you're in shape.
What?
You're a little low, man. Maybe you could turn up your volume in the studio, or maybe hold the phone or something close to your face.
Dude, you sound drunker than I am at this moment.
Oh, are you drunk?
What?
No, you don't have to be. No, that's an accusation. That's an accusation.
My soul, my heart.
Oh. I'm sorry about your heart. No, I read your story a little earlier. That made me sad. Continue, sir. All right, then.
My system's crashing.
Oh. All right.
Oh, no.
You can reset. We'll bring it back in. All right.
I might. We'll see what happens.
All righty. Well, thank you for joining us, Miss Rosetta. I'll toss your link there in the chat in just a second if anyone wants to follow Rosetta. She's part of the Greater Fandom Menace on that side of the YouTubes.
Yeah.
The Greater Fandom as opposed to the Lesser Fandom Menace?
Well, that's it. Well, give it time. Give it time. Not that I'm saying anything is going to happen, but the culture war seems to be touching many places and touching many nerves and everything. Right. And I'd like to give a shout out to my good buddy Captain Co-Pilot. He's helping fuel America in the chat there, along with an irate prostate, as well as the Killing Joke. The Killing Joke is still with us. He is actually the main star of my initial Pornhub upload.
Hey, Killing Joke. Oh,
doesn't mean I'll go there.
I have an announcement that I am rather proud of. That if you will allow me to tout that to the heavens, meme, seeing how this is to your channel.
What?
I'm asking for permission to tout the.
Oh no! Shill away! Always be shilling. That's what Coach Reptile says.
Whether you know or do not know, I have been a freelance writer for many years, and this usually entails being a ghostwriter. For those of you that do not know what a ghostwriter means, it means that I write for other people and they get the credit and I do not.
I
Guy with the motorcycle with the flames.
Right?
Oh, that's what I was thinking. You did his memoirs.
Right? I am awaiting a phone call from a client through Upwork.com. If you wish to have any type of freelance work there, they look for all kinds. No, this is not a sponsorship. I don't do sponsorships.
I'll do sponsorships.
I'll take
as long,
sponsorships, yeah.
as long as I can lay out the terms of the contract and tell everybody. Sorry, continue.
Exactly. I'm on your side on that.
I don't even care. Just give me money. I'll sponsor whatever, dude. I'll like do Tampax and I'll do whatever. I don't care.
Well, this person that has been through homelessness and all sorts of other shit that I don't wish to disclose on this particular stream without putting it in a blog post, even though I am thoroughly 10 sheets to the wind, which in my parents' rating could be drunk off my ass to the point where I can't walk straight.
So if you had like a suit on, you would take the jacket off and your shoes off and jump in the pool?
Honey, it's an episode of Big Bang Theory. If you've seen it, where Sheldon gets drunk and doesn't give a shit. Oh, you need to see that one because Sheldon getting drunk is priceless.
I've never seen any episode of that show.
Oh my god, it's a good show, especially.
Have you ever seen
Sheldon.
it without the laugh track?
No.
No, I haven't.
It's on YouTube and it's very, very bad. Like you listen to it and you're just like, what the hell is going on?
The problem is, honey, being ADD, I can actually filter out the laugh track and laugh at the jokes that I think are funny. But other than that,
I wasn't pointing him out. I was trying to let him talk. Sorry, go on.
I actually got hired for an Upwork position to do novels and screenwriting, which start parentheses, I have no fucking experience for it, and parentheses, script writing for TV shows and movies. I'm sure you guys can translate drunk to English, because at this point I am about 9 feet to the wind.
Wait, how'd you go from 10 to 9?
Well, this lady approached me.
Drunk physics.
It's scaled. It scales. We have a graded scale.
I did put okay.
And Shellback, you have 4 fingers up.
It's common core alcoholism.
Hold on, Maddie. Shellback TJC is asking, "Dear sweet drunk lady, how many fingers am I holding up?"
I didn't see the
I'm
lady.
not fucking cool at this point, honey. I'm being honest.
Oh dear.
Mitch has known me at my soberest and at my drunkest when my dog got hit by a car. Now, skipping.
You weren't driving, right?
No, I was not drunking. I was not drunk. If you wish to ask him, I'm sure he will afford you links to how to get in touch with him in alternative means. Because him and Rhetorical Entertainment have a wonderful stream going on right now that he is trying to grow on YouTube and other means. That I love Mitch. Mitch has been there through just about everything.
I've been there through thin and thin.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because most of you who do not know this have. I used to have a pity that my nephew named Zeus.
Zeus.
Yes, Zeus. That I nicknamed as Boo Boo because, unlike most stereotypical people would ascribe to pit bulls, was the most loving and goofiest fucking dogs I have ever known.
Plus, he tried to read the news.
Ex Mrs. Memes. She had a pit bull named Shamrock. He was a good puppy. You thought he was a laptop. It's like, oh yeah, you're like 95 pounds a laptop, buddy.
The
Yeah, that's what I got right here. Red nose pit bull.
Yeah, the problem with Meme with Boo Boo or Nooms Boo Boo, was the fact that we were living in a roach infested living environment where I couldn't lead him or walk him because the neighborhood was absolutely deplorable. So
If it wasn't rat infested, the dog would have taken these things out.
literally, honey, it was roach so infested that if I were to put a what was it called?
A fogger?
Right. I'll explain that to you. Any kind of heat source the roaches would gravitate to, type of society. I couldn't let him out because the area we were living in was a high crime area. So he was obviously being high energy, wanting to go out and being walked all the time, being one of those kind of dogs. Well, he let himself out. Well, unfortunately, he let himself out. Now walking, on my way to a place to get a coffee, because I love my coffee. He decided to cross the street. He got hit by a car, and I am not going to describe that graphic detail. He died. Boo Boo was the best fucking pit bull I could ever fucking. For all of you people out there that say pit bulls are vicious animals,
They're
you
not.
are horribly.
Well, you're a dog racist.
Right, exactly. I completely agree.
Being breedist.
Exactly.
Breedist.
Because it's not the breed of the dog. It's how you raise it. It's how you train it. It's how you love it.
Hashtag dogs are decent people.
Hashtag all dogs go to heaven.
That's why, no matter how drunk I am, I will say to my dying day, I am other people's cat person, dogs person.
Oh, I just want to point out one drunken message. Actually, Spinal Taparoo, the god of water, he has actually pointed out something here. He's saying, God dang, pardon my French, this chick is sauced AF. Oh, I was just thinking about what you said about the girl with the hair and stuff like that. So, if you're at 11 sheets in, does that make you a Super Saiyan 5? Because that is from AF. It may not be canon, but it's from AF.
I want to turn on this cam for a minute.
We have to wait until she's over 9,000.
Oh. No. Her power is probably over there. Although,
I will say this. Number one, I am a lightweight. Lightweight. And I have to slow my brain down for this.
You mean a cheap date?
Right, exactly. I am, because my husband jokes about that all the time. I am a lightweight to the nth degree. So yeah, I have a very low tolerance for alcohol.
You see Killing Jokes comment.
I love you, Killing Joke. I follow you on both of my fucking accounts. Both Maddie MWM Media and Maddie's HOG, which is Acid Geek.
Now, Maddie, I just need to point out the Killing Joke, he's recovering from some health and procedures things. Power to you, Joke. He's worried for your liver.
Okay. This
Okay,
is
by
where
tomorrow her liver's going to be bulletproof.
Man, you're worried about my liver. I should be at her level right now, and I'm not.
This is where it gets serious. My grandfather, in the year of 1988, who I adored and absolutely loved, has a funny in every fucking situation possible, told me to find the situation that was hilarious in his intensive care position situation
Liver loss matter.
told me that, he died of cirrhosis of the liver, which for most of you who are not to demean you, educated in cancer of the liver, because that is what cirrhosis of the liver is. My grandfather told me a very important piece of information. If you cannot find the funding in the situation that you're in, get the fuck out of the situation that you are in, because you don't need to be there.
So I think we've discovered something new about Spinal Tap Taparoo. I believe he may have a wretch fetish. I mean, I ain't here to judge. I am a weirdo in and of myself. Nothing wrong there. But we do care about Maddie. So I'm sorry I'm taking the piss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Maddie, don't throw up. Don't throw up on stream. You'll never live it down.
I'm not going to throw up on stream.
Okay,
I
there
have
you go.
never thrown up because of my drinking.
Yeah,
Wait,
I said
what?
that until I did.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
Right. For those of you,
I remember the last time I said that.
I remember I had a pink milkshake that night earlier in the evening before the drinking.
for those of you,
Wait, what's a spoonie?
right? I know. The only thing I know of as spoonie is sexual erasure, reference to someone who was sifting, like sifting into a female vagina.
Oh, Maddie, have you engaged in sexual relations with a young man approximately of the age of 25?
I've only dated men older than me.
Oh, well, the Joker also cares about your bladder.
Okay, Joker, listen to this.
Uh-oh.
Who's JF Therapy?
You do not have to worry about worrying about my bladder, even though I am blabbering. And understand that I am drunk, but sober enough to realize that I am blabbering about what I am saying and how I am saying it. My grandfather in 1988 died of cirrhosis of the liver. Now being grandfather, from father to liver to father to me, I understand how many generations I am removed from them. I am not self-destructive enough to understand that I need to be drunk every day of my life to die of cirrhosis or the cancer, which is another form of cirrhosis of the liver.
You can get cancer from drinking?
Yes, you can. It can cause cirrhosis of the liver, which is what my grandfather just died of.
Oh,
Don't you
shit.
ever watch House?
Looks like I'm not going to the damn doctor. I'm not going to find that shit out.
Now, my grandfather was the funniest person in my life that I ever knew before I ever got onto the internet told me when I went into his intensive care and he was dying of such particular thing. And he saw me crying and he asked me. And for those of you, remember this, because this is a life lesson I have carried on to the future of my life now that I'm 46. He saw me crying. I was 12 at the time. He said, "Why are you crying?" I said, "Granddad, I love you. I'm crying because I'm losing you." I was 12 at the time. Okay? My grandfather, who was the consummate comedian, looked at me and said, "Do not remember me as I am on this hospital bed, as I am on intensive care now. Because when I die, I am going to a far, far better place until your grandfather, well, excuse me, I'm drunk. Let me change the genders for a minute. Until your grandmother dies and meets me in heaven and starts nagging me in heaven that I am going to be at peace and having a place in heaven where I can enjoy myself. Do not remember me as I am now. Remember me with all the walks on the beach that I took, all the jokes that I took you, all the lessons that I imparted onto you, and how I taught you how to play dominoes. Don't remember all the negative shit that your grandmother told me because you can't pick the people that you fall in love with. You fall in love with them, and you know the hell that comes after is the hell that comes after. That's the kind of my grandfather. My grandfather would have made a great stand-up comedian, but you know, he wasn't there at the time.
I can't wait to force Maddie to watch this stream when she sobers up.
Well, no. It's a very telling drunken conversation. It's like, why I don't understand all the words coming out of her mouth. It's a heartfelt sentiment. And here's the thing:
Oh, I agree.
The people we lose, they live on within us as long as they're within our memories.
Yeah. My grandfather taught me one memory, one lesson, if anything only. Find the funny, and this is what he physically told me. Find the funny in every situation that you're in. Because if the situation that you're in isn't funny, get the fuck out of that situation because you don't need to be there.
The funny is in the comments, man. Oh my god.
Now, according to the internet, yes, it is the comments of the internet.
So, Mitch, you laugh at that, but I don't know. Can you be too intoxicated to stream?
I am guilty with the charge of being struck with drunk streaming because I don't care.
You would be operating under the influence, is it not?
Don't care.
I gotta tell you,
Most
someone.
of the time I drunk streaming because I drink when I'm sober. Because
Wait.
very sobering, very somber, and very serious message here. There's a lot of cancer running through my family. And most of them, it's cirrhosis of the liver, which for most of you people don't understand is cancer of the liver due to drinking and liver due to smoking. That I, at this particular moment, I don't really give a flying fuck about because I am so goddamn drunk I may not even walk a straight line from my office to my bedroom. I'm going to have to tell you this.
I think you flipped that around. Drinking for the liver and smoking for the lungs.
I didn't even catch that. All I know is it's a good thing I'm driving right now because I haven't been drinking.
After the 15th bottle of scotch, it doesn't matter which direction they go.
I like scotch.
I'm not on 15 bottles. I'm on 2 shots.
You can only go one way.
I'm on 2 shots of whiskey and 3 shots of rum with guava mango / strawberry kiwi juice because I'm a light ass fucking drunk.
I am so glad you did not say Bud Light.
I got more alcohol than that in this glass right here.
Dude, I'm telling you. Mitch.
Normal Budweiser, though, not Budweiser.
My father is a consummate beer, whatever fucking term that is. You can blindfold his ass and he can tell you a Pilsner from a stout from an IPA. And that's where I started my education on alcoholism. Because my dad is a Vietnam veteran. And I don't care what you think, what your stances are in Vietnam, or what you think about happened to what led to Vietnam. I am proud of my fucking dad because he did what he had to do and he was sent to where he had to go. And for all you people that are anti-military, as drunk as I am, I don't give a shit. Fuck you. Without this country, without the fucking freedoms we have, without the defending that they do for our Constitution, which is part of the vows, because I took MEPS, you wouldn't have the shit posting that you were allowed to post on any fucking military platform. It's fucking
wait, Maddie, are you saying that people on the internet are saying things that they wouldn't necessarily say in real life?
Oh my god.
I'm going to put it this way. A keyboard warrior is very different from somebody who would call a son of a bitch in person, because if they knew they were calling that person standing less than a foot from them a bitch, and that person would suck the fuck out of them in real life, they wouldn't say that.
Well,
Completely different fucking experience for that.
all I have to say to Zell is savvy.
You savvy?
This has been Maddie's moment of clarity.
Exactly.
Some say one needs to wait until the opportune moment.
Great damn comment, man.
Zell is a shit stirrer. That's what he does. He's a shit stirrer. He's an honest shit stirrer as far as I've seen, though. So.
Right? And while I am drunk, I have something to say about keyboard warriors. You can say all you want about the fucking keyboard that yours is in front of you with you are on a desktop or a laptop fucking computer, but I guarantee you, less than 20% of you presented with the person that you are talking shit about standing less than a foot in front of you would back up anything you've said in front of and on the internet.
Wait, people are playing characters on the internet?
No,
You know what?
It's like World of Warcraft. I love that game.
Look, I may be bold.
Hey, I'm playing World of Warcraft right now, memes.
Can I be Clint Eastwood?
Oh. Wait a second.
Oh, wait. No, I got the pirate dude, so I should be Jack Sparrow. My bad.
I want your Alteric Valley.
I just want to congratulate real quick to the woman that's drinking on stream for being more drunk than I am.
I am not.
I mean,
I gotta clear something
I
up.
want to say, I mean this sincerely. This is not an insult. I wish I was on your level.
We got to clear something up, though. Maddie kind of cheated because earlier this evening, she was bitten by a radioactive alcoholic.
Oh my god.
That makes so much more sense now.
That's right, dude. Her drunkard senses are just going fucking crazy right now.
Her drunkle sense is tingling.
Oh, you on the panel? No,
Either her drunken sense is tingling or she really has to pee.
Could be a combination of both.
Doing the dance.
Just now, before I mute myself, for those of you in the live chat or on the panel that have never met me, I am a 46-year-old descendant of people who have migrated legally, and I stress legal, here from Buga.
Cuba.
Thank you, Michi.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
God damn, I'm so drunk.
So I would not be a responsible driver here, but Maddie, with all due respect, did you not just forget your ancestral nation?
I won't when I'm sober, but I can't pronounce it when I'm drunk off my phone.
You're adorable.
I know. Thank you very much, sweetie. I love you too.
Look at Zell's new, latest comment. Oh my god.
I can't say that you have to read it because I think I'm reading it double.
Wow, that's racist. I didn't read that before I put on there. It's okay. It's okay. Nobody would ever project on the internet.
Project all the time. Look at the fucking Onishi.
It's the story of a drunk named Maddie. He was drinking very, very much at night. She went on a stream with means of destruction. And it all went downhill from there.
Oh, it's been going downhill for a while, Mitch.
I love you, Mitch, because you know me, but I'm
That was a really good song.
right.
I think we need to record that and put it up on Memes' channel. It can also be one of the songs that plays whenever he gets a Streamlabs donation.
No,
which
it
is
it could be
the
the
next time
live
for
stream.
memes to advertise his Streamlabs.
Oh, I have one of those. That's right.
Let me continue.
And you have a Patreon?
Yeah, I
Where
do.
where I get it from?
Hey, I am creating awkward moments on Patreon. That's what I'm here for.
As long as you invite me on your stream, you'll have plenty of awesome moments, especially when I'm drunk. But I'm gonna say this. Much as
Wait, Laura, did you change? Oh, call back.
look at that shameless plug. I do.
Oh, here we go.
See, I
Patreon.
Oh, well, Okay, that's fair. You are my co-host. Continue, panel.
Memes.
Yes.
I want you to know that I haven't met you until I did the listening to Mads, and you know who Mads because I'm too drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Whole thing in sober name. Live streams. I like you. I like your sense of humor. Absolutely love your insight. And there are very few people on this internet I consider on my
The internet that Memes is president of?
No, I'm running for president of the internet. There's going to be an election. Everybody is welcome.
Lucy Luxor is going to be president of. Lucy Luxor is going to be president.
Yeah, I'd vote for you.
Okay, look, now that there's a lull.
Yeah, I'm running with Lucy as her vice president. I'd still vote for you.
I
Oh.
mean, as far as I know, like based on people that have CIA contacts, like Scooby 331, is that Tom Penoid is the underground criminal organizer of everything internet related. I think he's basically PewDiePie's agent or something like that. So I would love to see a change in leadership.
According to everybody, you're all a bunch of terrorists.
Now that I am drunk,
This is what I'm hearing from people and stuff. If there's actual harm committed, okay, that's fine. We have things to do that. I just see a whole lot of people saying it's just all these things and people getting offended about words on the internet. That's what I'm saying. Sorry. Continue, Maddie.
Well, as somebody that's running as presidential candidate, what would you do about these terrorist incidents?
Oh, we're going to let people sort it out. We're going to put them all in one big room, and we're going to figure it out. Either that or, well, I guess we'll have to tell the truth.
All right, so I want to say on the internet that men are not women. Am I allowed to say that under your regime?
Ooh,
Is
well,
that
I
okay?
mean, well, not all.
No, I think that's hate speech nowadays.
I've been dealing with the public for decades, and I can tell you 100% for certain that some men are in fact women.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Now,
Take
before
that,
I
women,
say-
men.
Right. Before I say this, I am not saying that I do not like Penoid. Being drunk, I will probably remember this as sober. Much of my drunk forays into getting completely fucking shit-faced, I can't straight-faced, can't walk straight at light line. I remember, I will say this. Penoid, if you happen to straggle upon this particular name.
Who's P9? Is that like
Penoid.
He's a 600-pound.
It's a Kansas City rapper dude.
I thought it was that mountain lion in LA.
I thought it was Flow Rider.
No. If you do a search for him on Twitter, you will find him. He's a shit poster. He also has his own channel on YouTube where, in my opinion, professing this. So, I'm sorry, but this
Did you say growing a tail?
Conspiracy theories. He starts out right.
Memes. I've never heard of this fucking P9 guy.
Oh.
No,
Just
not
gonna let you know.
Penoid.
Penoid.
The 600-pound shotgun-toting gorilla on this internet of stuff and things.
Still have no fucking clue who that guy is.
I've never heard of this person.
He's a furry. He came out on Gaming Stream.
Sounds about right. Sounds like something that would happen on gaming streams.
Wait, furries are real?
Yeah.
I had no clue. I thought it was an internet meme joke.
Oh, there's at least one right here, right now.
Wait, you're not talking about me, are you?
Oh, no, I was talking about myself, but to be fair, I'm also a scaly. Vote for Arthur.
To address what Zell wrote about would you catapult people that try reporting you to Twitter for mean words, actually, Arthur has written a constitution for the internet, and according to that, you would have the protections of due process, so they couldn't ban you without. If they couldn't effectively ban you or disappear you from the internet without a proper trial.
Are you talking about Zell's
no shadow banning, eh?
Is Zell striking your chat? Is that what we're talking about?
He's not in the chat.
The Zell. Hi, Zell. And I really sorry for that stream we did where you told your whole story. Where, and funny enough, memes. You messaged me about Pinoid, and you're like, he's being called out. And I was like, I told Pinoid I was doing that stream before I even did it. Like I was just like, Zell needs a place to vent, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna let him have his time.
Oh yeah, no. I just heard, I heard somebody that wasn't there.
Yeah.
Oh no. It's because you said you weren't sure if he was going to show up, so I just kind of felt like I messaged both of you just so it was clear that I messaged both of you because it seemed fair.
You were all like, Pinoid's getting called out tonight, and I was like, yeah, Tom, I'm just gonna do the stream because
he didn't care.
It'd been called like it was just like it's the thing I would do. He didn't give a shit. The next time I talked to him, he's like, "What's up, homie?"
It's almost like we can move past mean words that might be said about people on the internet. I know, what a novel idea.
Say any mean words.
No, you didn't. No, you were up for him.
I'm going to give a platform for other people to talk, and I didn't even defend him. I just said I'm going to let other people talk. Tom P can say his words.
Yeah.
He has nothing to say about the situation, which is that's a relay to Zell. He really has no comments other than what you already know.
Okay, oh my god, this guy's cracking me up every fucking comment he puts in.
Memes. I'm trying to read the chat without my glasses.
Oh.
What's up, man? Sorry I wasn't on the cream stream last night. By the way, I just want to let you know that I ran way over doing something else, and then by the time I was done, you were not streaming anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The comment before that, Zell's comment, the last Zell comment.
No. Well, I feel like that's racist and everything, and I mean he can say what he wants. I guess. I mean the YouTube filter that's generally there hasn't picked it up. I mean, hey, that's why I let people.
Yo, Zell, I want to gas the Jews too, man. Don't listen to these guys. I'm on your side.
Hey, you go your way, I'll go Yahweh.
Okay, if you will afford me
that was a good freaking joke, people.
If you will afford me a minute, can I bring my iron in when we get this drunk? I say double.
I understood word.
I'm sorry if
no worries.
Your stream, if you tell me to shut up, I will completely shut the fuck up. But apparently, Zell said she was so wasted. If we asked her to impersonate Jack Sparrow, she'd take the performance 180 degrees around and then play it clean and sober. Sweetheart, Zell, I could not, because that particular actor whose name I am so drunk to remember is one of those actors in my drunken.
Which actor?
Oh my god.
The person who played Jack Sparrow in the
Johnny Depp.
Exactly. Him.
It's Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Savvy.
Or no, I said Johnny Depp. So yeah, that wasn't my bad.
But you have heard of him.
Johnny Depp. Now, Zell,
he hangs out with Marilyn Manson and does some white powder stuff.
Zell, now that I'm drunk to read your comment without my glasses, probably are in the living room that I forgot somewhere in the living room.
Oh dear.
Right. I'm going to take a deep breath.
What?
Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp. I don't care how you.
JD.
Right. Is hiring
JD.
one of these actors that when you are in a role, like, I'm too drunk to describe it, like the dude who played Joe.
Oh no.
The dude who played who?
If he plays a character actor like, let's say, Jack Sparrow.
Or Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. What's that guy's name?
Mm-hmm.
Tonto.
Hunter Thompson, yeah.
Right. Depp is really good as putting himself into the character that it is written.
Yeah.
However, when you want him in a more serious role, it falls flat. Scissorhands, he was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow, if you were to put anybody actor in the place of Sparrow, it would not have been good as Depp.
Wait.
Depp
Real-
did it best. I'm so
Real quick, I wanna try to respond to gaming and yelling in words that he can understand. No necesitamos inglés, necesitamos más cervezas.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca y pescado con queso?
I barely speak Spanish and I understood.
You want what with cheese?
I'm gonna put it very bluntly because I have been living for 46 years. Gaming and yelling, I don't give a shit whether you think I am lost in my own home. I know. I can take
I actually saw that comment.
I can take 5 steps and be in the hallway from my office.
Would you be upright?
Brush my teeth and go to fucking bed. So fuck you, gaming and yelling, because even with my astigmatism and my shit that I keep getting confused between what was that called? You can't see shit short.
So what you're saying is we should probably start winding the stream down.
I don't know, because I
I
might be
believe what
lost
she's
off
saying
the-
is, I think what she's saying is, eso no tranquilo.
What?
Okay,
Look.
Nani?
Did I get that right?
No say.
Oh, well, I guess not.
Taking a deep breath,
I've got my own version of a joy buzzer.
closing my eyes. Gaming and yelling. Yes, I can stream and speak and translate in pure English for you, which means I'm not that far drunk. It takes exactly 5 paces for me to get from my office seat to the door, to go across the living room, to my bedroom, to brush my teeth.
Yeah, you said it's like 5 steps.
You take steps with feet.
Forwards or backwards?
Well, thank God it's not 12 steps.
Bleen.
Forward. Rather wobbly, which is what 5 instead of 2.
Oh no. Maddie's so drunk she's gone wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
Exactly.
Those 5 steps might turn into 12 steps.
Maddie, you are scaring the children.
In that case, my dear means I will log off for the night, brush my teeth, and go to bed. Because I
No
have
worries.
that this shit for the past first couple of months of the new year has been absolutely
I just want to point out that I just finished an entire pint of Sailor, or entire 5th of Sailor Jerry.
Aren't
Yeah.
you also like 6'6"?
I'm like
I'm
halfway.
about 6'6", 350. I'm a fat ass. So yeah.
You're a big boy.
I'm 5'3" and 210 pounds with a light alcohol tolerance. So after about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do the math. Carry the 2.
Math is hard.
4 shots of rum diluted into juice, and maybe 1.5 shots of whiskey straight.
I had more than that in this glass.
So what I'm actually like, I actually really think this is hilarious. This is why I wanted to come on. Is she's super fucking wasted, which is like, you're at a level of wasted like I appreciate. Like, I'm not talking shit. I love being that drunk, but I can't get that drunk because I've drank too much in my life, and it just doesn't happen. Like, I fall
Because your
asleep
name
before
is
the-
Barry Allen and you're the fastest man alive?
Exactly.
I will tell you why I don't get.
I get that drunk and then just
often,
pass out on a live stream.
right.
But you know, that's
me
hold on. I was gonna say memes. I think you were there on one of Pinoid streams where I crossed my limit. Like I went way overboard, and I was just fucking gone.
But
that took a lot of work, a lot of effort.
How many games of Alterac Valley did you play?
The week it came out, I couldn't even count them. Because I'm amazed, man. I needed that fucking Tome of the Ice Lord.
I know,
you gotta be
it's
exalted for that
so
shit.
good.
May I give props to Zell, who said, I think we got it all wrong. That poor person is suffering.
Yeah, derailing your stream, dude. Do you wanna come in on some WoW Classic, man? Like, I'll help you. We got a server, dude. I got some peoples. Some of the Gulf City folks are playing. Right, we got.
Are you gonna get me? Are you gonna get me some greens and blues and then peace out like my original friend that got me into it did?
I've got 2 level 60s, and I just got done getting my Onyxia attunement done on my ult. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be around for a little bit.
And Mitch, to add to that equation that you got up there, Mitch says you forgot to divide by a sandwich.
Yes.
All right.
If you'll allow me
Sorry,
for
pasta.
a second to get my fucking reading glass,
kid-
I
oh,
think
God.
everything was being typed in the chat. Hold on just a second.
Gaming,
Maddie,
we don't. Gaming,
you had like 4 shots or 5 shots or something. I've already drank like half a 1.75 liter bottle of vodka.
I got to tell you, as a fellow lightweight, I do kind of sympathize with Maddie.
Oh no, we all do.
I mean, I remember the last time I.
You guys are sitting there like sympathizing. I was like, no, I'm jealous.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. It's so much.
I'm not
cheaper
jealous.
that way.
I'm not jealous.
would
'Cause
have
I
to-
don't like to be drunk. I remember the last time I got high. I got so high that I actually went 5 minutes into the future. So there's that.
it's a theory of relativity. It's all relative, brah.
Yeah, I was gonna clean my room, but then I got high.
See, I was gonna smoke some weed, but then I got high. Is what happened. That was
Laura
in the
has
90s,
no
man.
clue what we're talking about.
And all of a sudden, Afro Man shows up and just starts singing.
Yeah,
"'Cause I got high."
I tweeted at Afroman the other day.
Afro motherfucking MIA.
He's OG. That's
I
literally his
could've
name.
cheated, and I would have passed, but I got high.
I could have caught, but I got caught, and I know why. Why, man? Yeah, cause I got high, cause I got high, cause I got
It
high.
is so hard for me to know this song. I'm not singing like
Now I shit
I
my
was
pants
trying to
and I
hold
know
back.
why.
Why, man? Yeah.
the whole fucking thing.
Dude, my old driving instructor. I ended up working with him one summer doing construction, and he actually crashed the construction company rack body on the very last lineup because I got high. I think he had made smoked earlier in the day. Dude, it was one of the most hilarious things in the world. We're driving along. It's like we're going to the song. We're all freaking singing. Very last night, why, man, you here? Cause I got high. Cause I got high. Smash! We tore the entire freaking rack body off, man. There was this little telephone pole that's kind of leaning over, and there was like a Toyota or something allegedly coming in Minecraft or something, and we went around, and yeah, we caught it. And then they asked him to take a drug test the next day, and he said, fuck off!
And then I got high.
It's all right. It was hilarious at the time. We all started laughing.
See, I don't like the concept of a drug test without probable cause.
There was probable cause in that
Well, yeah,
particular instance.
There was, yes, but I mean, I don't like the concept of having a drug test to get a job because you have no reason to suspect that I'm on drugs.
Well, here's the thing: is somebody's doing a good job.
I completely disagree because I knew a whole lot of people that did a lot of drugs that passed every drug test that ever came at them. And what that test really is are you smart enough to pass the drug test even if you do drugs? Because then they can trust you to not do drugs at work.
So there's that. But I don't do drugs anyway.
I mean, I don't anymore,
I mean,
but I
don't,
used to.
I touch nothing at this point. My drugs of choice are cigarettes and coffee. And sarcasm. Maybe a little irony. but only if I'm feeling feisty. I just hate the concept. I don't like the idea of having to prove my innocence.
Wait, hold on. Is that
Without
not
due
part
process.
of bodily autonomy? Because we got rid of seatbelt laws here in Massachusetts, which we had for the longest time, based upon the argument of bodily autonomy.
Bodily autonomy works fine, but I do understand, if you crash the forklift, yeah, it makes sense to do a drug test, because you can't just say, well, Mitch is a moron. We'll get him back in that forklift in no time.
Well, that's the thing, dude. If somebody isn't right to operate heavy machinery or something, isn't it generally obvious?
It becomes a
It's like,
it becomes a situation that goes beyond bodily autonomy at that point.
Safety.
Yes. Well,
No, that's fair.
No, not safety. Just I don't have the right through my irresponsible behavior to harm anyone, even if it's
fair.
unintentional. It's a liability that I have to take on. Then it's a liability that the company has to take on if they willingly put me back in that position to do so again.
So it's a reasonable regulation.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't think it's reasonable to drug test me before there's a reason to drug test me.
Isn't that assuming guilt?
No.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
I thought, because I took that as, are you asking me if I'm assuming guilt?
I was
no.
just responding.
No, it's
Private
not.
companies can do whatever the fuck they want, man.
Well, companies are people too.
If companies can do whatever they want, why do we have a criminal justice system?
Can I identify as a corporation and make myself immune to jail?
Nope.
No,
That doesn't seem fair.
But apparently corporations can.
But can I have the same rights of a corporation?
Yes.
We used to. We changed that.
You have to.
Well,
you have to pay a fee and go through a lawyer and file the paperwork.
You're talking about being a trust?
oh, I got one of those.
Could be an LLC.
These things happen.
Oh,
I was an LLC too.
That's just a limited liability corporation.
Yeah, I didn't pay to renew. $20,000 sunk cost. It's like, oh, your own marketing company. Oh, and then all of a sudden I was working under a contract, after the existing contract that had already gone down to about 60% of the payout from when I had originally started. Because when I was doing my calculations, I'm like, I can make this work. And then, oh, can I have somebody else help manage? It's like, oh, well, we don't do it this way. It's like, this is the way the other company that's been doing this for a while, that's highly successful, is doing. Well, we don't do it that way. Okay, I'm going to go do something else.
Yep. Mind you, just in case anyone doesn't know that, I use the Bill of Rights as my code of ethics. So that's the framework by which I judge just about everything.
Well, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, because the Bill of Rights is an extension of the Constitution.
Yes, it is. Constitution does
quick
play
guidelines. Quick guidelines.
Yeah,
but
Bill of Rights is like the easy go-to.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Miranda rights. It's not the Miranda rights. You don't have a right to Miranda. It is a short Bill of Rights rundown, very quick.
Well, yeah, as it pertains to the interactions with law enforcement, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things too. And like, I know Mitch, you and I, we've had these discussions before about like teaching civics in schools and stuff. Because I still remember like going over like the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, stuff like that. It doesn't seem like we're spending as much time doing that anymore.
The Constitution right here.
Yeah, because all the teachers are fucking Marxist sympathizers, even if they don't know it. So,
well,
yeah,
I
got the Constitution right here. It sits right next to my passport, where I can go to another country that doesn't have the Constitution.
One of the reasons we don't have civics in our schools anymore, the way we should, at least, is because it's easier to disabuse people of their rights if the people don't know what their rights are.
Exactly.
I mean, look at our school system. You really look at it sometimes. I've read articles where the schools are in my locality anyway, where they're saying things about
where approximately are you from?
Northeastern U.S.
Okay. Well, like, what's the closest city?
That would be telling you what state I'm in.
Well, don't tell me that one. Then tell me a different one.
Okay. I live in the northeastern U.S. The closest city is San Diego.
That's
There you go.
hilarious.
Um,
All right.
I hear
I'll
locally
go with
there was a newspaper story about the requirement to graduate high school, where they have to do so many hours of community service. That's a violation of the 13th Amendment.
Yeah, it's it's
That's
technically
slavery. It's involuntary servitude.
Yeah. Which, by the way, did you hear about what the original 13th Amendment was?
No,
Because prior to the
at least it's not in my head.
prior to the Civil War, they had an amendment, which was the 13th Amendment, that was no titles of nobility shall be able to become any kind of member of the government, which means you couldn't be a lawyer.
I
And
believe that
after
exists in
the-
the Constitution.
Well, after the Civil War was over, they're like, oh, yeah, let's make it no slavery. And they went with that instead.
Now, was that for citizens of the United States, or because there are some citizens that are knighted? Okay, because
No,
if
no
you're
titles of nobility. Whether you're a lawyer, because if you're a lawyer, you're esquire, which means that you're actually a title of nobility. So no lawyer could be a member of government, same as no prince, no king, or anything like that could be a member of government as well.
so it was discriminating technically.
Yeah, but on a good reason.
Well, no, you bring up an interesting point now, because it seems like many of those people that are typically of, let's say, if you're going to use esquire as a title of nobility, like my dad, he was an attorney, he was an esquire and stuff, but he actually
because he passed the British accreditation rating. I forget what BAR stands for. British accreditation something.
I always wondered what that was. I always just thought, I'm like, oh, these folks help solve the problems for people that come out of bars.
Yeah, but that's British. So you can understand why they came up with no titles of nobility.
Well, the only thing is, you are excluding your fellow citizens. That is a problem right there. However, okay, let's entertain the idea, because if that was a thing, had we had that in place, do you think we'd be in a different situation?
I think we would be in a different situation, but I don't think we would be in a different situation per se.
Okay.
We'd probably be in the same situation. It would just be different people.
Fair point.
This is from the Constitution. If I'm reading this right, the website I'm looking at doesn't cite the source very well. Clause 8, no title of nobility shall be granted by the United States, and no person holding any office of profit or trust under them being the United States, shall, without the consent of the Congress, except of any present emolument, office, or title of any kind whatever from any king, prince, or foreign state. Basically, if you hold a title or a position of trust or emolument or office or title that's granted by a foreign state, it requires an act of Congress for you to accept that.
Okay, see, I thought that was if while you were serving within these United States in an elected office, you could not accept while you were in office.
I believe that's Article 1, Clause 8.
Gotcha.
I think, I don't like the way this website is, like I said, I don't like the way it's
Oh, the old 13th.
Wait, what section were you in?
I think it's in, it says Article 1, but then it mentions Clause 8 in the part that I read.
Why do we make it so difficult?
1, Section 8.
Oh, we don't. This website did. The Constitution's actually laid out pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's this book is like 13 pages long. It's the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, the Communist Manifesto, and the Jury Handbook.
And Bob's secret chili recipe.
That sounds like something that's useful, that's also less than 10 times the size of terms of service for, like, Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, and my bad, it's 61 pages long.
Well,
The
Go.
reason the Communist Manifesto is in there is because we have just about every single thing in the Communist Manifesto.
Well, the Communist Manifesto is like over 40 pages.
No, it's
When I read it, it was like 40 pages, maybe 39.
wait, where's it at? It's
the-
no, it's like a page.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
wish you
only
hadn't gotten
like
the
10
gist
things.
from the puppy barking. I am back.
oh dear. Well,
Okay,
we're coming up.
Article 1, Section 9, Clause 8.
Yeah, the Communist Manifesto. Here it is, one page. No, it's not even. It's this big of a page.
That's not the whole Communist Manifesto.
Yeah, the Communist Manifesto represents a misguided philosophy, of course, because this is America, which teaches the citizens to give up their rights for the sake of the common good, but it's always ends in a police state. This is called preemptive justice. Control is the key concept. Read carefully. Here's the 10 planks of the. I'm sorry, it's not the Communist Manifesto. It's the 10 planks of the Communist Manifesto.
They're bullet points, yeah.
Yeah, number 1, abolition of private property. Number 2, heavy progressive income tax. We got both of those. Number 3, abolition of all rights of inheritance. We've got that. Number 4, confiscation of property of all immigrants and rebels. We've got that. Number 5, central bank. We've got that. That's the Federal Reserve. Number 6, communist control, or I'm sorry. That's where my mind goes. Government control of communications and transportation. We've got that. Government ownership of factories and agriculture. That's kind of out there.
We have regulation on those too.
Yeah, we have regulation, but technically we don't have government control. So that one's not exactly that. Number 8, government control of labor. We got that. Number 9, corporate farms, regional planning. Kind of have that one.
Well, that's kind of the same thing. We do have oversight.
And number 10 is government control of education, which we absolutely do have. And if you homeschool your kids, you're looked at as a weirdo.
Well, see, here's the thing. I know a bunch of folks that homeschool their kids, and their kids like outsmart me all the time. I feel like I'm a lady adult going on who's smarter than or are you smarter than a 5th grader, and I lose.
Yeah. Yeah, but yet they're looked down as like some weirdos and stuff like that. But they're not. Like, every homeschool kid I've ever known is really, really smart.
It's viewed in the same light as a cult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or like anti-vaxxers.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one is like, oh, you don't vaccinate your kids, you're going to get my kids sick. Like, well, wait, if your kids are vaccinated, then how are they going to get sick from the unvaccinated kids? Wouldn't the unvaccinated kids get sick and then die off?
Well, that's the thing. We don't want that to happen, man. And if you fall below 90 or so percent effective vaccination rate, the thing is, the kids that don't get vaccinated, generally you want there to be an actual reason for, and that's why, especially with like modern work in like the human genome and everything, it's like if we can find something like when a kiddo's like either in mommy's tummy or something like that, or they come out, it's like if you could say, okay, this person happens to have this trait that runs in their family, they may be susceptible to something. Okay, those are the exceptions. If all of a sudden people are just getting freaked out where there's no real like actual danger, that's the thing. It's the uncertainty, and that scares people.
Well, the problem is this: I homeschooled Ronan and my son, and there was a point in his education where he came to me. He told me he was talking to his friends that were going through public school, and he said, "We're discussing X subject," and they literally told me, "Mom, that they had never heard of that shit." That they didn't know where I got it from. And when I explained to them that, I was homeschooled and my mom got it through the Public Broadcast System's website and through research that my mom had done, they realized that was history that they weren't being taught in school. That basically, let's face it,
public education as a whole is shit.
Well, it's government-sponsored education.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what the government wants you to know is what they're going to teach you.
Well, there's a lot of things we have to remember when it comes to public education. As you rightly say, it's government sponsored, it's government funded, and because of that, it is peopled, even down to the janitors, by government agents. It's up to us to hold them to the Constitution and the Bill of Rights,
Which
it's always been.
Yeah, the problem with public school currently and for the past, dare I say, 5 to 10 years, is the fact that the only thing the curriculum is geared to is teaching the students how to pass a fucking standardized PET test.
By memorizing things.
It's worse than that.
It's not learning anything, it's memorizing things.
Exactly.
But
They're quelling all critical thinking, all creative thinking, all out of the box thinking, period.
Yep.
Well, they also, and this is where it gets fun, when you look at a lot of the things they do, like the civics class thing is a good example, but there are more examples. The public school system promotes tyranny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Zero tolerance policies. That means no due process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when we had like the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
I don't think it should be compelled. I mean, I remember when we did like after 9/11 and stuff like that.
No, it should not be compelled because to compel it is to promote indoctrination.
Well, exactly. I was just about to say indoctrination.
Saying it cuts both ways, even if it is more of a nationalistic seeming thing.
Well, we've got nationalist things that are much better than the Pledge of Allegiance, like the Bill of Rights, like the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution.
Besides
Those are better things to learn.
Yeah, it's more
Chelsea.
important. It's more important to actually have that document on your being than saying reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, actually, that's no. Go on, Maddie.
It's bad when you have the most awakening moment you have with your son when your son tries to tell you, when you're having intelligent conversation about education in the school system, and he literally, Paul, which is my son's name, told me, well, we were talking about X subject, and he told me that he had never heard about that aspect of the war before. He's like, my friends never told me that my friends told me they were not taught about that in the school. And what he was referring to was about what the meaning was behind the drumming and all the songs that were being sung during the Civil War and what the songs were representative of during the slavery era and the Underground Railroad. Because PBS is what I got that curriculum from and what I taught my son to. And when that's Ruby Sue barking and adding her 2 cents.
Shout out to Ruby Sue.
Yep, she's a Boston Terrier. She's the bestest fucking puppy I've ever owned in my life. When I explained to him then there's more to history than just dates, wars, and turning points. And I expounded to him on what the Civil War was, thanks to Public Broadcasting System's website, as far as the songs that were sung, their meanings behind them, and the drumming, and why there were drummers in the particular Civil War. He said when he talked to his friends about that, they said they had never heard about that in public schools. Mm-hmm. To me, that is a symbolism or a symbol or an example, if you will, because I'm drunk. Take whatever fucking terminology you want and use it and run with it.
Well, history is always written by the winners.
Well, the problem is this. The public school system has failed the children to the point where they have quelled critical thinking, and that the only thing they're teaching the current, the previous, and possibly, because I'm extrapolating, possibly the future generations is how to properly pass a CRCT test, and the world is worth more than passing a fucking test.
And I don't know what a CRCT test is, but I'm guessing that you mean how to have a manageable citizen.
I'm gonna Google it. Let me see.
Well, that's the big thing. And actually, Maddie, what you brought up right there was a long-standing argument that Cabby had, God rest his soul. But he had said, basically, if you have a public education system and it's literally supposed to be educating them on like society and basically preparing them to like understand at least basic civics and stuff, if all of a sudden the school system isn't doing that and you end up having all these kids going into the system and stuff, like isn't that just an inherent problem there? Like if you're not actually preparing them?
Well, allow me to explain.
And isn't it weird how they don't teach us in school how to like manage a checkbook or how to like, you know, take out a loan or, you know, pay off
debt? No, they want
like
you to struggle. They want your life to be a struggle. That's, again, it's easier for them to control you that way.
I don't like to buy into that, because if that is the case, that is extremely fucked up beyond belief, and people are not actually believing in other people, and that actually fucking pisses me off.
Well, see, there's evidence to support it.
Yeah, there is. It doesn't make it true. I'm not necessarily saying that that is not a particular outcome for a lot of folks, because I gotta give one. Oh, you sure?
I should clarify. I don't think that it's a big convoluted conspiracy where people are sitting around a table and making these plans. I think they're making some of these plans, like the zero tolerance policies, for example. They're using what happens in the world as an excuse to implement these plans, and these plans are having effects. Not all of the effects were clicked on, but some of the effects still serve the purpose of tyranny.
Okay, go next row.
Its government is not. They're not. Oh, what the fuck is the goddamn word? They're not competent, and that's the problem. It's not that it's conspiracy. It's that they're not competent, and they have a plan, and they're like, "This is a good idea," and it's not a good idea.
No,
that good idea they keep wanting is usually something to do with public relations.
Okay.
Zero tolerance policy is PR.
Let Maddie go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If I'm allowed to ruminate in my drunkenness. When I was growing up, the CRCT was referred to as the ITBS in Georgia, because I grew up in Georgia. I was born in 73. In 77, my parents moved to Georgia. For whatever reason, if you ask my mother.
Well, wait. You said you grew up in 73. Like, how old were you in 73?
I was born in 73.
Oh, okay.
In 77.
Drunk words.
Exactly.
Okay.
In 77.
You're like 5 years behind me.
Right.
Or I'm 5 years behind you, I mean.
Exactly. In 77, my parents moved to Georgia from Florida. For whatever reason, if you ask my mother, even though we're Cuban descendant, in a very comically way of stating things, she would always tell you to get away from the fucking Cubans, mainly because of their nosiness. Anyway.
Wait, your mother would say that?
Yes.
Your mother said get away from Cubans, but she was Cuban?
Yes, she was born in 50 in Cuba. And in Miami, when they migrated legally, and I always stress legally, from Cuba to Florida, she realized the inherent problems with the Cubans as a whole that she was exposed to, which was their obsessiveness of being very fucking nosy in other people's business. But I digress. In 77, they moved to Georgia. And at the time when I was born in 73, when I was in the public system at the age of 6, which would be 79 in my drunkenness. I can still do math, which means I'm still not drunk.
Math is hard.
Math is hard. There was something called the ITBS test, which was basically a competency test, which would rate you on your theoretically understandable grade level. Okay, so at that point it was called the ITBS. Later on, it was called the CRCT after I graduated, which is short for Criterion Reference Competency Tests, which is what my son was graded on, and he was graduated in the year of 92, which is, admittedly, outside of the box. What I based his curriculum on when I decided to homeschool him, because at the time, in the ripe old age, when he was able to be educated, and I took him out of school at grade of 4, I believe, they decided that they were going to repeat him. And I said, nah. And me being the person that I was, took him to a psychologist, and they told him that he was burnt out, depending on the different states he had been moved to and the different schools he had been shuffled from into. And the psychologist told me that I had to challenge him. But beyond the point, CRCT, tinfoil hat opposed upon the top of my head, is a branch of Common Core education.
Oh yeah, Common Core. That's a big name right there.
Well, just look at the pattern. You got No Child Left Behind, Head Start, Common Core. These programs get progressively worse.
Now the problem with Mitch,
my mom was a teacher and she hated Common Core.
Now the problem with, and I will argue with Mitch upon this. The No Child Left Behind, in its purest edification or definition, if you will, because I'm drunk, was the intended map for that was anyone exhibiting difficulty in learning a particular area in the curriculum, whether it be language, science, mathematics, or otherwise, was supposed to be afforded by the state tutors to help him advance or her advance in the understanding of the particular subject they were deficient in.
Where do the tutors come from? Are they state-sponsored tutors?
Mm-hmm. In other words, No Child Left Behind was supposed to help a child was having problems understanding a particular concept to understand that concept in the way their brains assimilated it in order to afford them the education that they needed to excel in the public school system.
Shortly thereafter, we got the Ritalin explosion.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Now, PC or, political correctness be damned, and as many people will argue with me about this fucking subject, the public school system, and I'm saying this with my eyes closed because I'm drunk, is flawed on so many levels. Number one, upon entering the first grade, the child should be graded on its aptitude, whether it learns by audio cues, visual cues, or physical cues. Meaning, can you learn by being told what you're supposed to be learned? Can you learn by watching what you're supposed to learn? Or can you learn by doing what you're supposed to learn?
We all learn better in different ways, because that's the thing. I'm very audio and kind of like visual interpreter, like when I see it and stuff like that. And then I find because even with like finance and stuff, like my very first one, it's like, oh, I just got a C on that. Oh, I went in there with confidence. What I did was, it's like, okay, let me read it before, go through the class, read it again before the exams, maybe review it one more time, and then it's like, oh, now I understand math. because I never learned how to cross multiply fractions in the
Yeah.
6th grade, and then it's like, oh, since you know how to cross multiply fractions, here's some letters.
Yeah.
Welcome to algebra.
So I can't find my
Yeah,
glasses.
and
In my blurry vision, Angela says they tried to put me on Ritalin back in the day. My folks and my family doctor said I didn't need to be on it. The same thing, the same problem I ran into with my son. And it turned out, in theoretically and in my humble opinion in many cases, it's not that the fact that you have, quote unquote, attention deficit disorder or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. To me, my personal opinion is that your brain is not being challenged enough for you to sit down and think about the problems that are being posed to you. Because my son, at the grade of 4, being told that he was supposed to repeat the age of 4 because all the teachers were telling me that he had fucking ADD. I refused to say that because I went to a psychologist that told me otherwise.
they say that about all boys because
No.
boys are not meant to be sitting down and like being, non-active
But my
for like
problem
8
is,
hours a day. Like
No.
they're meant to be running around the woods and like, fishing and, like just,
Be-
doing
I understand
Being a little boy isn't a disorder.
Now,
exactly.
the same problem is that there are some girls that have that along alignment too, because my mother would tell me that teachers would call her complaining that I was looking out the window, talking to the birds out the window because I was bored about what they were trying to teach me in the classroom. The
Because what
problem,
they're trying to talk about is boring.
exactly. The problem is not attention deficit disorder or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's the misunderstanding of the aptitude of understanding the child of the age that child has.
Exactly.
That child may be 6, but may understand concepts that are 8, 10, and 12 years old in fashion. Now, I remember my mom was a parapro in the legal system for a 6-year-old teacher. I was in the 4th grade at the time. Here's a prime example, anecdotal if you may, for those of you skeptical in the chat and on the panel. I was in 4th grade at the time. I had a teacher's day off, which in my drunkenness, can't remember what the fuck that term is.
Teacher work day.
Thank you.
There you go. In service day.
But my mom's, teacher's aid day wasn't off in the Fulton County court in the school system, so she took me to school with her. Now the class she was teaching was 6th grade at the time. I was 4th. Keep that in mind. She brought me to the school with her, sat me down at a table, and the teacher, 6th grade level, said, "I'm sorry, Miss Rodriguez, but I can't have your child sitting there doing nothing but twiddle her thumbs. I have to give her some work." Mom said, "Go ahead, give her whatever you want." She gave me 6th grade level work, 2 grades above what the public school system had me leveled at. I not only did that, but made A's in it.
Oh, so you leveled up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
cool.
ADD is not only limited to boys, but it's also females with a higher intellectual understanding of the concepts in which they are presented. The problem is the public school system is designed to give extra funds, tinfoil hat time people, to people whose children in their classrooms are diagnosed with learning disabilities.
Wait,
such
what?
as ADD.
Wait, what?
ADHD, and
You heard
therein.
that right, Mames.
There's more cash.
The schools get more funding if they have more students with air quote learning disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's part of the scam.
Because they are so afraid of giving aptitude tests to the students. Because in my theory, and Mitch has heard me say this before, God bless him, that students should not be classified by age, but by learning aptitude and organic intellectual understanding.
That involves a complete redoing of the system. I'm not saying that I'm necessarily opposed to that, but to just directly implement that would cause mass. That's the thing. You need to do it right way. I think we actually have the ability to start transitioning now. I'm starting to see a lot more charter schools and everything. And if we can actually kind of work towards that, that seems like a benefit. And again, if you are going to eventually be phasing out certain jobs or departments, here's the thing. You don't just say, I'm going to go in there and just cut the entire department, because now guess what? You had a lot of good, hardworking folks there that you're just basically booting out. It's like, that doesn't necessarily seem realistic. Here's my one crazy thing. I went to school for business. I focused on management. The one thing I was taught all throughout school was this whole crazy concept called total quality management, or TQM. What's that? Incremental change, so you can actually work towards something. But folks say, oh, well, you can't do incremental change. We actually need to do it. Why? Do you not believe it? It's just because we're arguing over these petty things, just trying to like score some brownie points and everything, and then actually going back on the one important thing that kind of roots to the core of this to help bring us full circle is the whole, no, just give me 1 second, Maddie, is basically the whole like bureaucracy. Because again, I hear all these tinfoil hats and everything. I don't necessarily am a major person that's like hating on the player. I'm more of like, I hate the game. So if we don't like the game, if we can modify and change some of the rules to the game, let's put ourselves in a better direction. Because I think a lot of this comes down to not necessarily politicians just going out of their way to just try to deceive people or something like that. Does it happen on occasion? Sure, absolutely. Nobody's fucking perfect. But my thing is, what happens when all the folks around these people are saying, yes, boss, that's a good idea, and they just kind of keep nodding like one of like those little ducks or bobblehead figures, and if they're just saying everything's okay, and people aren't actually bringing up issues, because let's face it, if you bring your boss an issue, what's going to happen? You better have a damn good explanation why is that the issue, and all of a sudden it goes to you. So if that's going to cause trouble, is it really surprising a lot of folks just kind of keep their head down and try to get yelled at as little as possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because they want to skate around the issue. They just want to, like, live their life and, not be called out.
No,
It does get harder the more you're able to identify the issues, though, and there's more than one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 1,000.
At least.
Now, here's the thing that got one of my. Now, when I was going to school, it was in quarters, not in what the fuck you call 18-week, whatever the fuck they were, 12-week quarters, 4 quarters in the year. I don't know. I'm too drunk to remember what the fuck the terminology is. But
it's okay. We're winding down. We've been going on for 2 hours.
In one of those 12-week quarters, we had a civics class, and I had a geography teacher that would rant about the first 5 minutes of class, how inane, having homeroom was. That's He actually asked me, oh, you're one of those students, when he explained to me what apartheid was. Now, even though I'm drunk, I still remember this. For those of you in the chat and on the panel, apartheid at its base, at its most simplest definition, is a minority ruling a majority. So I raised my hand.
But which apartheid was he talking about? South Africa, or was he talking about Israel?
No. This is after he had explained to us that 10% of Russia was communist and going along those particular lines. So I raised my little smart-ass hand at the time, being in 9th grade. And I said, okay, let me clarify this before I say anything else. You said at its base, the definition of apartheid is a minority ruling a majority. And he said, yes, that's what I said. I said, so, in essence, since you also told us, and this was in the 80s, mind you, so put your mind retroactively back in that age. You just finished telling us that 10% of the USSR is Russia, is communist, running 90% of Russia. So you're telling me the 10% of communism is an apartheid against Russia. You're telling us that what's happening in South Africa is an apartheid. And then, so if I am in my wonderful imagination and how my mind works, the way we elect officials to govern the entirety of the United States of America, the small majority in the District of Columbia that is governing the majority of the United States of America is in essence in the basic definition of what you're trying to teach us is in fact an apartheid. He responded with, "You're one of those smart-ass students, aren't you?"
By the way, what you just described is democracy. Because democracy is 51% telling 49% of a country how they should live.
Yeah, but at the time I was in high school and I was realizing and I was limiting it to who we elected in Congress and in the District of Columbia, which arguably is a minority of people making the rules and laws for the rest of the country, which is arguably the majority.
Yeah, which is mob rule, by the way. That's what democracy is. It's 59% or 51% telling 49% how they should live.
Yeah.
And that's what this little tiny book here that I've got with the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, that is completely against democracy.
Yeah, because we are a republic. We are not a true democracy.
We're a constitutional republic.
We're a constitutional republic, exactly.
Or a democratic republic.
Exactly.
No, we're not a democratic republic.
The
only two that can really apply is a constitutional republic or representative republic.
We're a representative democracy.
Right.
Or a democratic republic.
No.
It's democratic on the side of we have certain things that we will vote on, but it's a republic on the side of there are certain things that you cannot vote on. So you cannot vote on taking away my gun rights.
Right.
Oh, don't get me started on the gun.
So we're gonna have to leave this on a cliffhanger because we've been going now for over 2.5 hours. So I've already put everyone's links to their channels in chat down there. So Mitch, why don't you give us a few closing words?
Okay. It is a mistake to think of the people we elect to public office as our leaders. They are not our leaders. They are our employees. In fact, the only correct way to refer to them is as our representatives. And the moment they stop representing our interests, we need to vote them out or have a more streamlined method to fire them.
I cannot agree with that more. That's
All right.
an awesome statement.
Go ahead, Rev. Give us a closing statement.
No, I'm going with his statement, man. That was perfect. He said it right.
Cool beans, Maddie. Your final thoughts?
If you wish to wonder what communism is in all of its forms, just ask me. I am the firstborn Cuban American in the United States. I am born of legal Cuban immigrants, and my mother was present during the change of Batista to Castro. So if you guys want any questions what it was like living under one or the other when neither one of them was rainbows and butterflies, just ask me. I can ask my mom and give you back with the answer, because communism and socialism is never the answer. And the link that I put in the chat is to my geek channel because, yeah, YouTube's screwing over my main news channel. So, yeah.
That's right. I forgot your channel. My apologies, Maddie. Thank you.
That's okay.
Let me put this back.
Oh.
All right. So
yeah, you wanted my my last sentence. I'm gonna go with Laura. Yeah, I'm in the dungeon where you're supposed to be at, and there's whips and chains, but you're not here. So.
oh, she is.
Groovy.
What?
Oh, Laura, give us your closing statement.
Stay strong. You're a dickhead.
All right, you're very welcome. Well, you heard it here, everybody. So, hey, thank you everyone for tuning in.
Wait, no. What are your last statements?
Oh,
Yes,
my last
me,
statement's
so
the
nothing with it.
same thing that I do every night. Turtle power.
Goodbye.
Oh, I
Vote
thought he was.
for
I thought you-
you.